It's gonna be a no for me, dog, because Randy Jackson is basically unrecognizable. But why? Is it health issues, stress, or dare I say, ozempic? So Randy Jackson just popped back on TV and the internet immediately went into full detective mode because people are seriously shocked by how thin he looks right now. And I'm telling you right now, the comment section was moving like the FBI had opened an investigation. The former American Idol judge appeared on the newest season as a guest mentor, and viewers could not stop talking about his appearance. Some fans said he looked frail, others said he just looked weak. One person literally asked if he was okay after seeing him sitting through most of the segment. And you already know social media turned into a medical, kind of degree class within 5 minutes. Now, to be clear, there is no confirmed health emergency happening here. This is not some secret breaking news scandal, but people are reacting because Randy Jackson today looks completely different from the Randy Jackson most people remember from the golden era of American Idol, when he was giving out that classic yo dog every 5 seconds while sitting behind the judges table, judging future pop stars and occasionally people who sounded like microwaves exploding. And honestly, if you have not seen him in a while, the transformation honestly is really shocking. Like, Randy is now, I think, 69 years old, and he has been very, very open and vocal for years about his health journey. Back in the early 2000s, he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and at one point he weighed over 350 pounds. He later underwent gastric bypass surgery and eventually lost more than 100 pounds. But here's the thing, people online are saying this latest appearance feels just a little bit different. Fans are saying this is not just regular celebrity weight loss. A lot of viewers think he looks dramatically thinner than before, and social media immediately started spiraling with concerns. And the internet loves two things: acting like doctors and acting like aging is a personal attack. Some fans defended him, saying, guys, he's like almost 70 years old, which is true. People age, bodies change, faces thin out, the neck starts doing mysterious things nobody ordered. That is life. But other viewers were genuinely worried because Randy looked just like noticeably smaller and quieter compared to his energetic, music producer kind of vibe people remember him for. One viral comment basically said he looked so thin it made him look sad. Another person said he looked fragile during the episode, and honestly, the reaction was intense enough that his name immediately started trending again. The wild part is Randy has actually spent years talking about trying to maintain his health after the surgery because he said gaining the weight back was always a fear for him. He cleaned up his diet, focused on healthier habits, and even, co-founded a wellness company connected to nutrition and supplements. So technically this transformation did not happen overnight, but seeing him now compared to old American Idol clips is giving people whiplash. And can we talk about how every single celebrity transformation online now turns into a guessing game? I mean, the second somebody loses weight, the internet starts acting like they just escaped a Victorian tuberculosis, ward. Meanwhile, half of Hollywood, has disappeared into size -0 territory, and people only suddenly become concerned when they recognize the person from 2006 reality TV. Still though, fans do seem genuinely worried about Randy, and a lot of people are hoping he is healthy and doing okay behind the scenes, because whether you grew up watching American Idol like myself or just know him as the guy who somehow turned Yo Dog into a permanent cultural memory, Randy Jackson is one of those reality TV icons people feel weirdly, attached to. Seeing somebody who is once larger than life suddenly looking this thin definitely caught viewers off guard, but as of now, there is no confirmed crisis, no shocking hidden illness announcement, and no verified report saying something serious is wrong. Just a wave of internet concern after a very noticeable appearance change that had fans doing double takes all over social media. Olivia is looking wild these days. Maybe it's Maybelline or maybe it's Ozempic. Either way, Olivia Wilde is wilding out on something and we need to talk about it. Okay, so Olivia Wilde has the internet doing a full double take right now because these new photos dropped and people are not just noticing a glow up or a style switch, they are straight up asking what happened. And listen, this is not coming out of nowhere because the reaction online has been loud, messy, and very divided. So here's what's actually going down. Olivia Wilde stepped out recently looking noticeably slimmer, than kind of fans are used to seeing her. And the photos spread fast, like within hours. People were zooming in, analyzing everything, and turning into full body language experts overnight. Some people are genuinely concerned, saying she just looks way too thin and a lot thinner than usual, using words like fragile and even sickly, while others were kind of defending her, saying she looks more fit, more toned, and completely fine, and that everyone needs to relax. Which, this is classic internet behavior because because no one ever agrees and somehow everyone is a doctor. Now, to be clear, there is no confirmed health issues. There is no statement from Olivia herself saying anything is wrong and nothing factual suggesting that she is unwell. But what we do know is that her appearance right now is so much more different from what, we've kind of gotten used to. And that alone has been enough to send social media into a spiral. And honestly, I mean, the way people react to women's bodies online these days should be studied because it's always one extreme to the next. Either you are way too thin, way too curvy, way too fit, to something. It's just, honestly, it's never neutral. But in Olivia's case, the timing is also adding fuel to the fire because she's been through a very public few years between, her breakup with Harry Styles, the drama surrounding her film Don't Worry, Darling, and the nonstop headlines about her personal life. People have been watching her very closely for a while now. So, when these new photos come out and she honestly really does look noticeably so different, it's not just about the photos, it is about everything people think they know about her life. And let's be honest, the internet loves a good storyline. So, some fans are pointing out that she has always been naturally slim, which is true, and that, lighting angles and styling can completely change how someone looks in particular photos, which, is true because cameras can be ruthless and very selective. But others are saying the difference is way too obvious to ignore and that something now just feels slightly off. But again, there is no actual evidence of anything being wrong. There's no, health concerns that she has brought up herself. This is all just based on her appearance right now and speculation around that. And that is where things start to get, wild because people are building full narratives off a few pictures. Like we went from red carpet photos to full-blown conspiracy theories in record time. Meanwhile, Olivia herself has not addressed any of it, which honestly might be the smartest move because engaging with the internet commentary about your body is a losing game every single time. If you clap back, you get criticized. If you stay quiet, people keep talking. It is literally a no-win situation. But what is interesting is how fast the conversation shifted from style to concern to criticism. At first it was, wow, she looks different. Then it became, is she okay? And then very quickly it turned into people making harsh comments about her appearance and of course whispering ozempic, which, says way more about the internet than it does really about her because people love to disguise judgment as concern. They will say they are worried while they are also tearing someone apart in the same sentence. It is a talent at this point. And the reality is bodies do change all the time, whether it is stress, lifestyle, aging, work schedules, or just life in general. Not everything needs a dramatic explanation, but that does not stop social media from acting like every celebrity photo is a breaking news investigation. So right now, Olivia Wilde is trending not because of a new movie, not because of a major project, but because of how she looks in some photos. And that says everything about how obsessed people are with appearances, especially when it comes to women in Hollywood. So yes, the photos are real. Yes, she looks different. Yes, we're all collectively shocked a little bit. But beyond that, everything else is speculation noise and people just projecting their own opinions onto someone they don't actually know. And if there is one thing the internet's gonna do every single time, it is overreact, analyze, and then argue about it for days. So whether you think she looks amazing, concerning, or just different, one thing is clear, Olivia Wilde has everyone talking again. Christina Aguilera, girl, I used to turn to you. You told us we were all beautiful no matter what they say. So why are you out here changing the narrative? Let's get into this. Christina Aguilera just stepped out in brand new photos and the internet is doing what the internet always does best, gasping, zooming in, and acting like they work for a celebrity wellness task force. So the singer appeared at the 2026 Breakthrough Prize ceremony in Santa Monica wearing a very skin-tight black gown, a fresh blunt bob, and a look so dramatically different that people instantly started debating whether this was glow up, glam squad magic, or something more controversial. Now, let's be real for a second. Christina Aguilera has always been one of pop culture's most reinvented stars, literally. Every era gives us a new version. We got dirty Christina, old Hollywood Christina, Vegas Christina, burlesque Christina, and now mysterious science gala Christina. But these new photos have some fans a little concerned because, she looks like significantly slimmer than in previous years. And that's not saying much. She's looked slimmer in the last 2 years alone. I mean, social media users are calling her tiny, fragile, and just shockingly thin, while others are saying she looks incredible and happier than ever. I mean, basically the comment section is a civil war in lip gloss. Now, of course, whenever a celebrity celebrity loses visible weight loss in 2026 especially, one word enters the chat immediately. You know the one, Ozempic, or GLP-1 at least at this point, or whichever injectable the internet thinks it's, diagnosed from a red carpet photo taken at a weird angle. Christina has not publicly confirmed using any weight loss medication, and there is no verified evidence that she has. That part matters because rumors, as you know, are not receipts. She actually addressed public opinions before, saying other people's opinions of her are not her business, which is real. Honestly, that may be the healthiest statement in this whole conversation, but still people are talking because the transformation has been so dramatic. Some say she looks like early 2000s ex-Tina again, very much giving, all that, but others say this version looks too extreme. And in celebrity culture, women somehow get attacked for gaining weight, losing weight, aging, not aging, $300,000 facelifts, breathing, blinking, existing near a camera lens, anything, take one step forward, like 20 steps back. Meanwhile, Christina, she shows up smiling, posing confidently, and enjoying a rare date night with, her fiance, Matthew Rutler. So while the internet was conducting body investigations from their couch, she was at a billionaire science party unbothered. Love that for her. The bigger story here might be how obsessed people still are with policing women's bodies. If a star gains weight, headlines explode. If she loses weight, headlines explode even louder. It is exhausting. Are you not tired? It's predictable, and honestly, it's getting a little lazy, but we're still here, right? But since this is pop culture, yes, people will keep talking. These photos are everywhere. The reactions are intense, and Christina once again proved she can dominate a headline without releasing a single song. That's great. Love the look or hate it. One thing is clear, Christina Aguilera still knows how to make the whole internet stop scrolling, and that, thin or not, is a lot of star power, and I love her, so I'm always team Christina. Alexa Demi looks sickly thin in these new photos, but why? Is GLP to blame or something else going on? Let's talk about what everyone is whispering but nobody in Hollywood wants to say out loud. Alexa Demi just stepped onto the Euphoria season 3 red carpet, and the internet immediately did like a double triple take because this was not the same Maddie Perez we remember. Sigh. Fans online started comparing old photos to now, and the reaction was instant: confusion, concern, and yeah, a lot of people straight up asking like, what happened? And here is the thing, this is not coming out of nowhere. At the premiere in Los Angeles for Euphoria season 3, Alexa showed up in a vintage gown looking very different from her earlier appearances. Not just styling, her face, her frame, everything looked noticeably slimmer and gaunt. Now, before anyone starts reaching or reacting, no, she has not confirmed any changes or anything like that. There is zero proof of what people are accusing, but that did not stop the internet from doing what it does best, right? Which is spiraling. Now, people on social media were saying she looked basically unrecognizable. Others said she looked exhausted, and some fans were genuinely worried about her health. She actually lost her cute little dimples that I love so much. It's devastating, honestly. She was literally, in my eyes, like perfect, okay? So of course people are coming at her, but at the same time, there is a whole other group defending her hard, saying maybe it's just lighting. Maybe it's aging. It has been, 4 years since last season. Maybe it is the softer glam she chose this time around, because yes, she did switch things up a bit. Instead of that bold, glittery Euphoria makeup we're used to, she went for a much more natural, toned down look, which can honestly make anyone look completely different on camera. But let's be all the way real for like a second. This conversation is bigger than just Alexa, because right now Hollywood is in its skinny era again. People are noticing. There is already ongoing speculation about weight loss trends and pressure in the industry, especially with so many celebrities suddenly looking dramatically thinner at the exact same time. And when someone like Alexa, who built her image on confidence, boldness, and that iconic Maddie energy, shows up looking drastically different, people are going to talk about it. That is just the reality. What makes this hit harder, though, is that Alexa has always been seen as naturally stunning, like effortlessly. So when fans say she did not need to lose anything, that is where the concern is coming from. I don't really think it's hate. I think honestly it's concern, and honestly the internet is split right now down the middle. Half saying she still looks beautiful, which she does, just, I don't know, a little scary. Half saying something feels off, which also tracks. But here's the truth nobody wants to actually admit. The camera, the lighting, the styling, and the pressure in Hollywood, it can completely change how someone looks overnight. So whether this is just a style shift, maybe a personal change, maybe a GLP or two, or something deeper? I don't know. Right now, it is all speculation. But what is not speculation is that the conversation around beauty standards in Hollywood is getting very loud again. And Alexa Demi just became the latest face of it all, whether she wants to be or not. Oprah looks sickly thin in these new photos, and the internet is losing it. So Oprah Winfrey stepped out at Paris Fashion Week recently, and the internet immediately went into full detective mode, not because of what she wore, but because people could not stop talking about how incredibly thin she looked. The 72-year-old media mogul was spotted sitting front row at the Chloe show in Paris wearing high-waisted jeans, a cream top, and a brown jacket. Very classic, very effortless, very I'm Oprah and I own half the world. But the real headline wasn't the outfit. It was her noticeably slimmer frame that had people online zooming into photos like they were analyzing security footage. And listen, when Oprah changes her appearance, people notice. I mean, this woman has basically lived her entire adult life in the public eye, and her weight journey has been talked about for decades. From the infamous moment in the late 80s when she wheeled out a wagon filled with 67 pounds of fat on her talk show to symbolize the weight she had lost, to years of dieting, lifestyle changes, and everything in between. I mean, Oprah has been very open about the struggle. But recently, she revealed something that changed the conversation completely. In 2023, Oprah admitted she started using a GLP-1 weight loss medication after realizing something that a lot of doctors have been saying for years. Obesity isn't just about willpower, it's actually a very complex medical condition. Now, according to Oprah, the medication helped quiet what she called food noise. Now, basically that constant, mental chatter about food, cravings, hunger, and all the things that kind of make weight loss feel like a never-ending battle. Now, once that noise calmed down for her, she said she finally felt like she had control over her health in a way that she really just hadn't before. Now, fast forward to Paris Fashion Week, and suddenly the photos hit the internet and people were stunned. I mean, reports say Oprah has lost more than 50 pounds during her health journey, and the difference is definitely noticeable. And of course, because it's the internet, the reactions were all over the place. Some people were praising her, saying she looks incredible and youthful. Others immediately started doing what the internet loves to do best, which is diagnosing celebrities from their couch. You know the vibe. Now, comment sections, full of people suddenly acting like licensed dermatologists, nutritionists, and facial structure, analysis were all chiming in as well. You've probably seen the phrase floating around lately, ozempic face, now the internet's favorite new buzzword. And anytime a celebrity loses weight quickly, people start analyzing cheekbones, like they're judging a sculpture competition. But Oprah has actually been pretty honest about the entire journey. She said for years she blamed herself for struggling with weight, thinking it was purely about discipline. Now she believes biology plays a much bigger role than people realize. And honestly, the bigger point here is that the entire conversation around weight loss is changing. These new medications have completely shifted the discussion in Hollywood and beyond, and suddenly celebrities who struggled for years are losing significant weight, and the public is trying to figure out what's natural, what's medical, and what's just good lighting and a Paris runway angle. But let's also remember something important. Oprah has been under a microscope for over 40 years. She's built a billion-dollar empire, launched countless careers, given away cars like their party favors, and somehow people are still debating her body like it's breaking news. I mean, whether people think she looks amazing, too thin, or just different from what they're used to seeing, one thing about Oprah is guaranteed. If she walks into a room, people are going to talk. And when she walks into Paris Fashion Week looking dramatically slimmer than ever, the internet is absolutely going to lose its mind. Nicole Kidman looks sickly thin in these new photos. When Nicole Kidman stepped onto the red carpet at the Academy Awards this year, it should have been one of those classic Hollywood moments, legendary actress, flashing cameras, couture fashion, the whole, glamorous movie star spectacle. And to be fair, the look itself was very much giving old school Hollywood. Now, Nicole arrived wearing a custom Chanel gown, elegant, dramatic, exactly the kind of couture moment, you'd expect from someone who has basically lived on red carpets for the past 3 decades. But the second photos from the night hit the internet, people stopped kind of talking about the dress and started talking about her body. Now, within minutes, the images started going viral and social media did what it does best, zooming in like it was analyzing security footage. Fans quickly pointed out that Nicole looked noticeably slimmer than usual. I mean, her arms, shoulders, and just overall frame appeared much thinner than what people were used to seeing. And suddenly, the Oscars red carpet turned into a full-blown online debate. Some fans said she looked shockingly thin, others said she just simply looked frail, and then right on schedule, the Ozempic speculation showed up. Suddenly, everyone online became a nutrition expert, a doctor, and a body language analyst all at once. Now, to be very clear, Nicole Kidman has never confirmed anything about the speculation surrounding her appearance. There's been no statements, no interviews addressing it, nothing. Just these, photos from the Oscars and the internet kind of running with its own theories, which is kind of wild when you think about it, because we're talking about Nicole Kidman, an Academy Award winner, Emmy winner, Golden Globe magnate, and one of the most successful actresses in Hollywood history. She's been dominating the industry since the early 90s and has starred in everything from massive blockbuster films to critically acclaimed dramas. I mean, this isn't someone new trying to survive their first red carpet. This is someone who has spent more than 30 years in the spotlight. And yet the moment new Oscar photos appear, the entire conversation online suddenly shifts to her weight. Not her acting, not her projects, not the fact that she shared a nostalgic moment during the ceremony with Ewan McGregor while celebrating the anniversary of their iconic film Moulin Rouge. Nope, the internet immediately turned the moment into a panel discussion about whether she looks too thin or not. And the reaction sparked a much bigger conversation people have been having lately about Hollywood body standards. I mean, because Nicole wasn't the only celebrity people were talking about last night. I mean, across the Oscars, red carpet fans kind of started noticing what they believed was a trend. Several stars appearing dramatically slimmer than they had in the previous appearances, which kind of led to one uncomfortable question popping up everywhere online. Is the ultra thin Hollywood beauty standard quietly making a comeback? I mean, if that sounds familiar, it's because we've absolutely seen this before. The late 90s and early 2000s were basically the Olympics of unrealistic body expectations in Hollywood. I mean, being extremely thin wasn't just encouraged, it was practically the job description for leading actresses. For years, the industry claimed it had moved past that era. There were conversations about body positivity, healthier standards, yada yada, allowing women to age without being scrutinized like lab experiments. But when those Oscar photos of Nicole Kidman hit the internet, a lot of people started wondering if, Hollywood might be drifting back towards those same expectations again. Very toxic. Meanwhile, Nicole herself has stayed completely silent about the whole situation. No clapbacks, no explanations, no addressing the speculation, just business as usual. So while the internet is zooming into Oscar photos like detectives in a crime documentary, she's still out here producing projects, starring in major films and series, and maintaining a career that most actors could only dream of having. In Hollywood, it doesn't matter how legendary your career is, the internet will still find something to talk about. And this time, it was Nicole Kidman's Oscar red carpet moment, custom Chanel gown and all, that set the entire conversation on fire. Amanda Bynes looks sickly thin in these new photos that have hit the web. So Amanda Bynes is trending again, but this time it's not for a comeback role or a viral moment or even something she actually said. It's because of these new photos that have surfaced and people are genuinely concerned. And I mean really concerned. The internet kind of took one look and immediately went into full detective mode, zooming in, analyzing, speculating, basically doing everything except minding their own business, of course. But at the same time, some of the concern isn't coming from a bad place. It's coming from people who grew up watching her, who remember the Amanda show, She's the Man, all of it. And now they're looking at these recent photos and thinking, something feels a little off. Now, in the images, Amanda appears noticeably thinner, not just like Hollywood thin, not just new diet, who's this kind of thin, but the kind of thin that makes people pause mid-scroll. Her frame looks smaller, her face more drawn. It sparked a wave of comments ranging from genuine worry to, let's be honest, some pretty ruthless takes. And here's where it gets a little complicated, because on one hand, people are saying, we're just concerned that she's gonna take it too far. On the other hand, the internet has a very terrible track record when it comes to talking about women's bodies. I mean, concern can turn into criticism real quick, and suddenly it's less, I hope she's okay, and more, why does she look like that? But Amanda Bynes is not just a trending topic. She's someone who's been very open about her struggles in the past, substance use, the conservatorship she was under for nearly a decade. I mean, this is someone who stepped away from the spotlight, went through serious personal challenges, and has been trying to rebuild her life quietly. So, when these photos drop and the entire internet collectively gasps, I mean, it raises a bigger question, right? At what point does concern cross the line into something invasive? Because we actually don't know what's going on behind the scenes. What we do know is that she's been open about her weight loss journey since starting Ozempic. That's the weight loss medication that has, taken Hollywood by storm. But also, additional weight loss can happen for a million reasons, like health issues, stress, lifestyle changes, other medications, or honestly, just life doing what life does. And unless Amanda herself chooses to speak on it, everything else is just speculation dressed up as concern, right? I mean, that being said, fans aren't completely wrong for feeling a certain way. I mean, when someone you've watched for years suddenly looks drastically different, it's jarring. I mean, it's human to notice, it's human to worry, but the way that worry is expressed, well, that's where things can go sideways, because scrolling through the comments, you'll see everything from praying for her to this is scary to people straight up diagnosing her through a photo like they just graduated from, TikTok medical school. And let's be real, that doesn't help anyone. If anything, it puts even more pressure on someone who's already been through a lot. Now, what makes the situation even more interesting is that Amanda has been keeping a relatively low profile. She's not out here chasing headlines. She's not posting constantly. So when she does, reappear or appear, and even unintentionally through paparazzi photos, the reaction is amplified times 10. It's like the internet doesn't know how to handle a quiet comeback. There's no script for it. So instead it fills in the blanks. But maybe not everything needs to be filled in. Maybe something, or sometimes the most respectful thing isn't to speculate, analyze, or comment. Maybe it's just to acknowledge, she's been through a lot and we hope she's okay. Because at the end of the day, Amanda Bynes isn't just a headline or a set of photos being passed around online. She is a person, and whatever's going on, whether it's nothing serious or something deeper, we're only seeing a snapshot, not the full picture. Demi Moore looks sickly thin in these new photos. Okay, so the internet is spiraling right now because new photos of Demi Moore just dropped, and instead of people talking about the glam, the diamonds, the couture, everyone is asking the same question, which is she okay? So Demi stepped out at the recent Actors Awards, which, was the SAG Awards before, looking polished, poised, and draped in serious Hollywood luxury. We're talking very dramatic silhouettes, hair, full red carpet moment. Now on paper, iconic, but in photos, the conversation shifted very fast because fans immediately noticed how extremely thin she looked, and not in the usual Hollywood slim way. People online were kind of using words like frail, too skinny, and just like sickly thin. I mean, some pointed out her arms and legs looking noticeably smaller than ever before, and others zoomed in on her face saying it looked a lot more gaunt. Now, there were even comments speculating about swelling in her ankles in certain shots. Now, let's be clear, there is no statement from Demi or her team suggesting that anything is wrong at all. There's no confirmed health issues, but the reaction wasn't your typical, petty body shaming comment section. It was honestly genuine concern. And in 2026, the internet doesn't whisper, it screams. Now, the Ozempic speculation started immediately because, of course it did. And at this point, if a celebrity loses 5 pounds, the comment section turns into a pharmaceutical investigation hunt. And people were asking, if she's the latest Hollywood star to join the injectable weight loss era. There's zero proof of that, but that didn't stop the rumors from spreading, obviously. Now, what's interesting is that this isn't the first time Demi's appearance has sparked conversation. She's been in the spotlight for decades. I mean, from Ghost to like G.I. Jane. I mean, she's always been known for being incredibly fit and disciplined, but fans are comparing photos from even a year ago and saying this feels like a dramatic shift. And here's the thing about Hollywood. Extreme thinness gets glamorized until it suddenly just doesn't. I mean, one minute it's high fashion, the next minute it's are we worried? I mean, the line is thin, no pun intended, and some outlets focused on the fashion and the diamonds because yeah, she was dripping in luxury, but you can't scroll 2 comments down without someone saying she looks underweight. And once that narrative starts trending, it snowballs. Now, I'm not here to diagnose anyone. We don't do fake news. We don't invent illnesses. That's not what this is. This is about public reaction to very public photos, and the reaction has been quite loud. I mean, it also speaks to something bigger, the pressure on women in Hollywood to stay impossibly youthful and impossibly small. Demi is 63 years old and still commanding red carpets. I mean, that alone is powerful, but the scrutiny, yeah, it's ruthless. And the internet has turned into this weird place where people, claim concern, but also dissect every inch of someone's body in the same breath. It's like, we're worried about you, followed by 47 zoomed in screenshots. I mean, make it make sense, right? At the end of the day is gonna end. Demi hasn't addressed the chatter. She hasn't responded to the speculation. And honestly, she doesn't owe anyone a medical report. So, now I want to know, do you think this is just exaggerated online drama, or do you think fans have a reason to be concerned? Because one thing about Hollywood, the glam is always flawless until the comment section decides it's not, right? Sharon and Kelly Osbourne look sickly thin in these new photos. Okay, let's talk about these new photos of Sharon and Kelly Osbourne because, girl, when I say the internet is spiraling, people are clutching pearls, screaming into the void, staging interventions in the comments, and honestly, I get it. Sharon popped out looking so tiny that half the internet had to zoom in just to confirm it was really her. This woman has been open about her weight journey forever, but lately she's been dropping pounds faster than Hollywood drops a problematic actor. Now, she even admitted she lost over 40 pounds in what felt like 5 minutes and said she felt too skinny. Now, when you say you're too skinny, oh baby, that's when the rest of us start getting worried, right? And in these new pics, well, she looks delicate. Like a strong breeze hit her wrong, she might just fold like a beach chair. Now, comment sections are calling her everything from frail to malnourished to ghost chic. And listen, I love a snatched look as much as anyone, but there's snatched and then there's vanished. Now, Kelly, let's talk about Miss Kelly Osbourne, because she's right there with her as well. Fresh off having her baby, she's been showing off her ultra slim figure too. I mean, she's cut sugar, dropped carbs, did some body sculpting treatments, and is living that postpartum but make it Hollywood life. But the results have shook people because fans are saying she looks like a completely different person. Like if Kelly Osbourne walked past Kelly Osbourne in the street, neither one would recognize the other. Now the reactions, savage. People are saying, you know, she's way too thin, almost alien, almost unreal. Like, who is this? And honestly, I can see why. The transformation is very dramatic, like season finale plot twist dramatic. But here's the real tea. People aren't just talking about how skinny they look, they're talking about how sickly they look. Because they don't look toned, not just like, oh, we lost a few pounds, sickly, you know, like they look really sick. When the internet says, you know, you look this sick, baby, it's time to reevaluate. Because the wild part is both of them have been pretty open about how they got here. Dieting, treatments, medications, surgeries, the whole basically, you know, Hollywood starter pack. They didn't hide it, but even with the honesty, a lot of people feel like the results have gone way too far. Like they crossed the finish line, kept running, and ended up in a whole different race. So yeah, does, you know, Sharon and Kelly Osbourne look sickly thin in these new photos? Yeah, absolutely, I'd say so. This isn't a glow up, this is low battery, you know, your phone's about to die. I mean, this is health bar in the red zone. Imagine The Sims, you know, red, it's in red, fully in red. This is someone plug them in, please. Now, whatever they're going through, stress, pressure, Hollywood expectations, personal choices, I know they're also grieving, which is hard, but you know, something is clearly off, and it really does show. I mean, if this was the aesthetic they were aiming for, they really did good. You know, they landed it straight in and haunted everybody. And the internet, oh, well, the internet is eating it up. I mean, millions of views, thousands of comments, endless debates, but underneath all the drama, there's a real concern there because these photos aren't giving healthy, they're not giving empowered, they're giving warning signs.
Rebel Wilson had one of the biggest turnarounds in Hollywood. She made many jokes about her weight, and her character was even named Fat Amy in the Pitch Perfect series. She used it to her advantage to build her comedy, but when she lost the weight, she lost her fans as well. People started thinking she wasn't nearly as funny as she was, which simply isn't true. And she had a lot of people saying that, well, by losing the weight, it would put a dent in her career. Apparently, it did give her the opportunity to have a healthier lifestyle and, you know, a smaller dress size, which sometimes comes in handy. She's like, sometimes being bigger, people didn't necessarily look twice at you. And now that I'm in a good shape, like, people offer to carry my groceries to the car and hold doors open. But critics have called her weight loss kind of toxic and depressing and a symptom of Hollywood's fat phobia. Kind of sad. So Lizzo has no shame in who she is, and she allegedly empowers others to feel the same way. But when she went on a full detox to lose weight, people started questioning her. Then when fans found out that she went vegan just to lose weight, they were furious, saying that she was doing the opposite of what she stood for. Now, she defended herself on Instagram saying, I detoxed my body and I'm still fat. Sure, yes, in reality she is still happy with herself and she just wants to feel healthier. She said that both versions of her were happy, this one is just healthier. Shaming people doesn't make a difference, supporting their change does. But here's the thing. She's been cancelled for other reasons as well. Late last year, news broke that 3 former dancers accused Lizzo of harassment and creating a hostile work environment in a lawsuit that was filed in California. To be specific, Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez accused Lizzo, along with her production company, Big Girl Big Touring, and her dance team captain, Charlene Quigley, of religious and racial harassment, disability discrimination, false imprisonment, and more. So why is this relevant? Well, the complaint says Lizzo drew attention to a dancer's weight after an appearance at the South by Southwest Music Festival in Austin, Texas, and pressured dancers to engage with nude dancers at clubs in Amsterdam and Paris, which Not a great move for somebody whose entire brand is about loving your body. There are also claims that Lizzo took her crew to a nude cabaret bar without disclosing what the bar was, and berated dancers and fired one on the spot for recording a meeting. Like, one dancer says that she soiled her pants during a rehearsal because she was so afraid of losing her job. And the lawsuit also says that Quickly publicly discussed one dancer's virginity. After the lawsuit was filed, 2 more women came forward backing up the allegations. Former dancer Courtney Hollenquest and Lizzo's former creative director took to Instagram to add their support. Now, Hollenquest, in a since expired story, clarified she was not part of the lawsuit, but this was very much my experience in my time there. And Wilson added on, saying, "I haven't been part of that world for around 3 years for a reason. I very much applaud the dancers' courage to bring this to light, and I grieve parts of my own experience. I'd appreciate space to understand my feelings." So what makes these particular allegations so shocking? Lizzo has been very vocal about body positivity and women's rights since kicking off her career, becoming something of a champion and role model. And, she even did interviews saying, like, people saying stuff that's mean about her, that's fatphobic and hurtful, and she's like, feel like my music cool. If you don't like me because of the way I look, well, that respect goes both ways. Like, if you can't be respectful to your employees, you kinda deserve to be cancelled. Ariel Winter thought getting her big break in Modern Family was going to be the greatest thing that ever happened to her, but it kind of took a toll on her mental health. She has been bullied for her weight for years, considering she was the heavier sister on the show. But when she lost weight as she got older, she was ridiculed by fans once again. One fan even commented on her Insta saying, "I know it's good to be maintaining a healthy weight and all, and you can do whatever you want with your body, just please don't get skinny." Like, the audacity? No, absolutely not. So Meghan Trainor's got 2 kids and a whole lot of curves for a mom. But people still make fun of her for losing weight. Like, goodness forbid, she ate a bit healthier. She worked out regularly, even though she had like a crazy schedule. People have been making fun of her for losing the weight that made her famous in the first place. And it wasn't even that much either. She lost 20 pounds, which made a world of difference for her, but it's not that crazy. She just wanted to be healthier for her sake, and also like for her kids, which it's so wholesome. Instead of folks dissing her for it, you should just be more supportive. So Adele has been hitting it out of the park in the musical world for years. So when she lost some weight, it shouldn't have made a difference, right? Well, some people started to give her their opinions on her weight and her body type after she lost the weight. Some folks celebrated her transformation, while others were troubled by it and even went so far as to call her a sellout. One said, "Celebrating Adele's weight loss is a garbage thing to do for a million reasons. It tells your fat friends that you think their bodies are a problem that needs to be solved. Please stop saying Adele had a glow up," wrote another person online. "We have no idea what her health was or is like, and this is just reinforcing the skinny ideal or the concept that the skinnier you are, the prettier you get." Some blog writers even said it's a strange thing to do because it implied that she was, well, heavy before when she wasn't. So at that point, the haters were just going too far and completely missed the point of her losing weight because it made her feel good, not because of social standards. Now, Adele has refrained from much discussion of her body, but when she hosted Saturday Night Live in October of 2020, she made light of the situation. She said, "I know, I look really different since you last saw me, but actually because of all the restrictions in the world and the travel bans, I had to travel light, and I could only bring half of me, and this is the half I chose." It's kind of funny. So Jonah Hill made an incredible turnaround and shed more than just a couple of pounds. But to this day, he doesn't really want people talking about it. He didn't brag much on social media, he didn't really keep up with progress photos, simply because he feels like it's nobody's business what he does with his weight. Even if it did cause a lot of fan outrage because he was often typecast because of said weight. In an interview, Sharon Stone asked for his permission to say he looked amazing, which honestly, super respectful to do. But fans didn't really appreciate that. Overall, it was a lose-lose situation, even if he was a healthier version of himself. So Khloe Kardashian has been on a weight loss journey ever since she welcomed her daughter True in April of 2018. She's documented it online. She's shared her workouts on her Insta, her Snapchat, her family's reality TV show. In 2023, however, her weight loss started heating up to a whole other level. So apparently, on her family's TV show, she was known by people as the fat sister because she didn't have as much work done on her body as her sisters did. And she's got some curves. Well, she got what she called a revenge body. So she dropped a lot of weight, she gained some muscle to be more visually appealing, but the fans weren't happy with that at all. Khloe has continued to document not just her workouts but like also the results. And one fan was like, "The fact that she uses diabetic medicine to get this skinny is disturbing," alleging that Khloe uses semaglutide, which is commonly used in medicines like Ozempic to achieve her svelte figure. Now, according to the FDA, the medications are used for chronic weight management in adults with obesity or who are overweight with a weight-related condition, including high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes. Look, joke's on everyone. Khloe is happy and healthy, happily married with kids. Like, she's got that. So Amy Schumer was seen as overweight in the eyes of Hollywood and even played on that point when she starred in the movie I Feel Pretty. But she can still appease Hollywood even when she's dropped a bunch of weight to feel better about herself. But she's been met with a lot of criticism about that. She has handled the entire ordeal the same way she has with everything else in life, making sarcastic remarks and jokes about the feedback on her face and body, and how everybody's got an opinion on everything. She tweeted in response to the haters saying she felt happy with herself, she felt healthy. She only weighed in at 160, which isn't that much over the average weight, being somewhere between 120 to 155 depending on body type and age. Few actors are as devoted to character transformations as Christian Bale, who has gained and lost incredible amounts of weight from many of his past roles. He's kind of notorious for this, and it's not exactly healthy. He gained over 40 pounds for his role in Vice, lost over 60 pounds for his role in The Machinist, both of which were kind of extreme. Now, after that role in The Machinist, where he weighed 120, he had to gain 100 pounds in 6 months for Batman Begins, but then had to lose 30 pounds again before filming because he bulked up too much. He's even done special exercises to thicken his neck in order to physically fulfill the demands of his movie roles. No, big suits or doing it halfway for this guy. Look, it's one thing to commit to a role, but when you fluctuate that much and that quickly, it's not healthy. So naturally, people have hated on him for it. Now, however, he has recently revealed that those days might be soon behind him. He's like, I've become a little more boring now. I'm older. I feel like if I keep doing this, I'm gonna die. So I'd prefer not to die. And I think all of his fans would agree. Now, Ashley Graham, the amazing plus size model that she is known for her curves and recently took to Instagram to promote self-love. She's like, love the skin you're in. Now, she gave birth to a son in 2020 and captioned a post featuring her nude with her stretch marks on display, and fans were quick to shower her with praise in the comments. But she's also been on the receiving end of hateful messages about her body. Like in 2016, she posted a seemingly slimmer photo on Insta and people didn't like it. They were like, why are you changing yourself? I thought you were comfortable being yourself and being plus size. Now, Ashley hit back, being like, nothing is never enough for you. But at the end of the day, I'm good enough for me.
Starting off our list today at number 10, we have Rebel Wilson. When Rebel Wilson made an appearance on the Call Her Daddy podcast, she would note that she had to wait until Pitch Perfect was pretty much over before she could kickstart what she called her year of hell, as her contract with the movie franchise banned her from losing weight when she said, I couldn't lose a massive amount of weight because I was in the contracts for that movie. You can't lose, I think it was more than 10 pounds or gain more than 10 pounds. You kind of have to stay at the same weight. It's like in your contract. Rebel's character in the film was called Fat Amy, which unfortunately required her character to look a certain way. While Wilson did note that she loved playing her character and she had the best time filming, it seems inappropriate for a film studio to make any mandate about the actor's body, particularly when the character's weight could have easily been written around. They simply could have called her Amy or by her actual name in the film, which on the record was Patricia. Number 9, Jonah Hill. For the longest time, Jonah Hill was known as the funny fat guy in movies, and that's all a lot of people remember him for many reasons. One, because obviously he wasn't pencil thin, and the other is because he had this really good sense of humor that was obviously kind of hilarious depending on the movie. Once he started to slim down, however, he did manage to take on some other roles that were less comedic and far more respectable in terms of actually winning an award for his acting rather than his comedy. But it seems like the actor isn't booking as many roles as he used to. While the star could just be taking a step back from his acting to deal with some challenges in his personal life, it seems like the star has only been working hard to develop different projects that revolve around voice acting, and this could be because his acting contracts for roles involved him to not lose weight, as he was typecasted for years in the same role, but when he changed, Hollywood just didn't know what to do with him. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming number 8, we have Renee Zellweger. Committed to taking on her role in Bridget Jones's Diary franchise, Renee Zellweger had to gain weight and maintain it just to embody her character in the film. Before the film even started filming Bridget Jones's Diary, the star had to gain 30 pounds to play the role in 2001, Bridget Jones's Diary. She then had to repeat the process again for the 2004 sequel, Bridget Jones. the edge of reason. And then by the time she filmed Bridget Jones's Baby, however, she was tired of talking about her weight. While the star had to put on a few pounds to take on her role throughout the years, she's had to maintain her weight and continue to gain weight on the films, to the point the media started to harass the actor about her weight. And then she ended up telling British Vogue in 2016, "Bridget is at a perfectly normal weight, and I've never understood why it matters so much. No male actor would ever get such scrutiny if he decided the same thing for a role." While the star went from being a size 4 to a size 14 during the filming process, she was forced to enlist in a 4,000 calorie per day diet of comfort food. That just isn't right. Number 7. Seth Rogen. So just like Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen, when he started out in the acting industry, he was typecasted as a funny fat guy that you couldn't picture doing anything else. And even when the star started to lose weight to star in a comic book movie, The Green Hornet, he found himself being put into a very conflicted spot for his acting, as Hollywood really didn't know where to put him. Got to the point even Seth was struggling to accept his new slim figure, because the industry made him feel like he let down legions of chubby men who looked up to him. He has even had to find a way to cope with strangers in Hollywood approaching him for his weight loss, to the point he even had to say, "I think for chubby guys, I was their guy, so they were like, I can be chubby. Seth Rogen's chubby, who cares? But now I'm not so chubby anymore, and they're like, I have to lose weight. I've let them down. I blatantly sold out. It's only for money." Number 6. Brendan Fraser. After being abandoned by Hollywood for no reason whatsoever, Brendan Fraser was desperate to get back into acting, to the point he decided to gain as much weight as he could to star as a lead in his recent film, The Whale. In the drama film, Brendan, who was set to play a 590-pound school teacher who is slowly eating himself away to an unhealthy weight while grieving the passing of his wife, Brendan did have to spend hours in the makeup chair to have prosthetics applied to make him change his appearance altogether, but he still had to pack on some extra pounds so it could help him get into his character easier, and so the prosthetics would look a little more natural than they would if he was still a skinnier frame. While the actor doesn't really seem to be affected by his current weight gain and how it affected his physical appearance, it is great to see him back on the Hollywood scene again, but it still makes you wonder why Hollywood makes actors go to such extreme measures when it comes to their weight. Number 5. Charlize Theron. Back in 2003, Charlize Theron physical transformation, along with a scarily intense performance, won her a well-dressed Oscar for portraying a real-life monster in the movie Monster. In her contract, Charlize had to put on 30 pounds before filming even started. Charlize did go on to say that putting on the weight was a way for her to understand her character and her character's experience, rather than just looking overweight for the part, by saying it wasn't about getting fat. Aline wasn't fat. Aline carried scars on her body from her lifestyles. Charlize then went on to add that if she did the movie with her slim, physical, athletic body as she's known to have today, then not only the producers of the film, but she also would feel like she wouldn't have felt the things Aline felt with her body, before adding, "It was about getting to a place where I felt closer to how Aline was failing." In the end, Charlize did end up gaining close to 50 pounds for the film, and the mindset with it caused the star to face depression, and it got to the point where she found the whole process of gaining weight for the film and even the process of filming was not really as fun as her other roles. Number 4, we have Vincent D'Onofrio. Pretty much since the start of Vincent's career, he's had to gain weight and maintain the same image for his roles by gaining weight he may have lost while he wasn't filming. It all started back in 1987 when the actor was set to portray an overweight recruit struggling through boot camp in Stanley Kubrick's film Full Metal Jacket. Vincent would be forced to gain 75 pounds before filming even started. Later, Vincent would then reveal that the hardest part of the process was keeping on the weight while he was filming, as he was losing the weight fast Due to his contract, he wasn't allowed to lose a single pound. While in the beginning he was only asked to gain 10 pounds, every time the actor submitted a self-tape for the role, he was required to gain more and more weight. And this wouldn't be the only time Hollywood has forced the star to maintain his weight or gain some more pounds back, as in 2022 it was reported that the star had to gain 15 to 20 pounds when he landed a role for Kingpin: Return to Hawkeye, so his character could have an accurate look in the Marvel Studios series. Number 3. Jared Leto. Back in 2007, Jared Leto admitted that before he could portray Mark David Chapman in the film that surrounds the passing of John Lennon, he was forced to gain 67 pounds before he could play the role of the man who assassinated John Lennon. And then the extra pounds had serious side effects on the method actor, as the weight gain took such a toll on Jared. And it even got to the point where the actor could no longer walk to the set by the end of production, and he was even later diagnosed with gout and advised to lose weight by his doctors. Later that year, he would then admit to the Los Angeles Times that he wasn't really sure gaining weight was the wisest choice, when he said, "I'm not sure it was the wisest choice. A friend of mine was recently going to gain weight for a film, and I did my best to talk him out of it. Just because you can lose weight doesn't mean the impact it had on you isn't there anymore." But in the end, Jared felt like it was necessary to follow the film's production team and what they were advising him to do, as it made him believe that it was a necessary thing for him to do so he could get every aspect of his character right. Number 2. Rob McElhenney. The creation of Fat Mac was a hilarious gag that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia seemingly pulled on a whim for season 6. However, making it happen was much more difficult than one might expect, as co-creator and Mac portrayer Rob revealed he gained 60 pounds for the character. Then new look with a diet that consisted of only ice cream, heavy soup, and cottage cheese. While Rob in the beginning tried to gain weight in a healthy way by eating chicken and rice, his doctor soon told him that there was no healthy way to gain that much weight in a short amount of time, that he knew he had to opt for an unhealthy way, so he would literally pull out a tub of ice cream in the morning and would then drink it when it melted in the afternoon. He later told Dax Shepard on his podcast, Armchair Expert, that the weight he was forced to gain and maintain during filming that season didn't seem to be progressing fast enough to justify his Fat Mac transformation, and the requirements had such a negative impact on his health that he then had to convince the show's creator to make his character Jacked Mac for the next season so he could shed some pounds. And coming in number 1 today, we have Colin Farrell. While Colin Farrell opted to wear a fat suit when he portrayed the role as the Penguin in the movie Batman in 2016 for the movie The Lobster, the Irish actor was set to play an unlucky in-love shrub in a bit of a paunch, meaning the handsome leading man was required to pack on quite a few pounds and maintain the weight while the filming was going on. Later, when Colin's co-star John C. Reilly opened up to Entertainment Tonight about how Colin put on 45 pounds, at first it made John wonder if he was actually going to pull it off within 2 months. While the star, like Rob McElhenney, gained weight for the role by drinking ice cream, he would admit that it was only fun for 2 days, and when it came to his health, his sleep schedule, he actually suffered quite a bit. The actor also had to eat 4,000 calorie meals and refrain from exercising, which had huge consequences on his overall health.
Number 10. Ariana Grande. The singer spoke up about skinny shaming when she saw a tweet comparing herself to Modern Family actress Ariel Winter. One person tweeted about being asked which one he would prefer to date, and he replied that he'd choose Ariel over Ariana because according to him, curves are sexy and sticks are not. Although he probably couldn't have imagined his tweet going viral, Ariana actually responded to him, only to condemn the comparison. Quote, "We live in a day and age where people make it impossible for women, men, anyone to embrace themselves exactly as how they are." She also had a great comeback for him, saying that misogyny, objectifying, labeling, comparing, and body shaming were definitely not sexy in her opinion. Her fans came out in support of her, which was good to see considering that in 2015, many took to Twitter voicing their concern when Ariana pulled up to the 57th annual Grammy Awards looking rather lean. When
When her own fans commented on her especially petite frame, Ariana said that it was because she had given up junk food. It's a little bit sad that she even had to explain herself. Number 9. Kendall Jenner. In 2013, Kendall opened up to Harper's Bazaar Arabia, revealing that she was currently dealing with skinny shaming. Quote, "I'm constantly criticized for being too skinny." The star told the magazine that while she is trying to gain her weight back, her body won't let it happen. She continued on, saying that what people don't understand is that calling someone too skinny is the same as calling someone too fat. And we can actually see that in a 2018 promo for Revenge Body with Khloe Kardashian. The host revealed that Kendall had actually been battling skinny shaming since she was a child. According to Khloe, Kendall was always very thin and was actually bullied because of her weight. Khloe added that she thinks all forms of body shaming are wrong and that people don't sympathize when people are body shamed for being too thin, which is extremely true considering that people tend to make fun of those who say they are trying to gain weight for their health instead of lose it. So it's clear that despite being the highest paid supermodel of all time, even Jenner is not immune to being body shamed. Number 8. Sarah Jessica Parker. The Sex and the City star's weight has long been a topic of discussion since the series premiered in the 90s. In 2004, she sat down with Oprah and addressed the issue of women idealizing her thinness. Quote, "Actresses have this weight standard for professional reasons, but I think the standard is impossible for women in America." Parker recognizes that her size is not the norm for other women. In fact, she doesn't want women looking to her weight as if it is. She goes on to say that while filming Sex and the City, her job required her to put on a little dress and run around the streets of New York in heels. But she stresses that she also had the financial means to hire a yoga teacher to come to her house while a babysitter looked after her newborn baby. Quote, "For 95% of the world, that's not realistic." Parker also recognizes that there are likely genetics at play. While the actress admitted to People in 2008 that she eats seriously everything, she said that she thinks she just has a predisposition to being slim, which was overall a very honest way of looking at it. Number 7. Ruby Rose. The Australian model and actress Ruby Rose is all too familiar with being skinny shamed throughout her career and just simply existing as a public figure in general. After posting a photo of herself on Instagram in October 2017, you can guess the kind of body shaming she received. Several Instagram users rushed to the comments to call the actress anorexic. The sad thing is that Rose did in fact take notice of all the accusations being tossed around and felt that she needed to share a message with fans in an Instagram story. She wrote that it's so frustrating because she says she just doesn't get upset at the criticism itself, but she hates it because it worries her fans or shames them. Quote, "I hate it because it uses no logic and basically is just someone projecting their experience and expectations on others." The actress explained that she really does eat a healthy, plant-based diet and doesn't drink alcohol or eat processed foods, also adding that she used to be a boxer and she recently trained very hard for her role in several action films. Number 6. Angelina Jolie. Unfortunately, after her mother passed away from ovarian cancer in 2007, Angelina Jolie lost weight. But even under those tragic circumstances, her weight loss was noticed and harshly criticized. The actress was kind of pushed to speak up about her body, telling Grazia, quote, "I have always been lean and this year I lost my mother and I've gone through a lot." The star's weight loss was not intentional, but it was actually because of grief, which is something that she was adamant about clarifying. She goes on to say that she's not trying to look thin, but that she's trying to work through a very difficult year. Angelina further expressed that she found it disturbing that people wouldn't first consider if a person who had lost a lot of weight might be going through something traumatic, which is completely true as no one ever thinks that there might be another underlying reason to somebody being thin. Number 5. Lucy Hale. When the Pretty Little Liars actress shared a photo of herself on Twitter in September of 2017, one man commented on the post saying that no straight men are signing off on that anorexic look, before asking Hale to please eat a hamburger. But as you could probably guess, the celeb was not feeling that horribly offensive message. Quote, "As someone who used to struggle with anorexia, I don't take these comments lightly. I'm healthy, I'm happy, and you don't know me." Then in a separate tweet, Hale really stood up for herself and made it clear that she wasn't just going to accept body shaming, writing that she is disgusted that a man would even think of saying these absolutely awful words to a woman, and that he should be ashamed of himself. Although the problematic Twitter user obviously didn't welcome her opinion, Hale's fans and the Twitter sphere in general at least got the message. Many of her fans not only came to her defense, but they also expressed their gratitude for her decision to stand up to the person criticizing her body. Number 4. Gigi Hadid. The model seemed to cop the worst of both worlds when it comes to body shaming. In February of 2018, Gigi revealed that she was once considered too big for the industry. She clarified on Twitter, writing, quote, "For those of you so determined to come up with why my body has changed over the years, you may not know that when I started modeling at 17, I was not yet diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease." Gigi said that those who felt that she was too heavy to be a model were actually seeing water retention and inflammation, which are all symptoms of her thyroid disease. In addition to being thought of as too fat, Gigi has also been considered too thin. In a separate tweet, the model said that since her health has improved from her teenage years, she's better able to manage her condition, and her outward symptoms have dissipated. Quote, "I may be too skinny for you, but I feel healthier internally." Later, the supermodel urged people to have more empathy for others and to lift up those that you admire rather than be cruel to those that you don't. Very wise words. Number 3. Celine Dion. When photos of the 51-year-old singer from last year's Met Gala surfaced, people noticed that she had in fact lost weight. This got them curious as well as concerned for her. Celine Dion has addressed her weight loss and reassured her fans that she is doing well. She emphasizes that she eats healthy and works out regularly. The iconic singer's response to others' criticism about her weight was all very well done. If you think about it, throughout her whole career, she's had to defend herself from critics saying that she's too skinny. So by now, she would have some pretty epic comebacks up her sleeve. In a 2019 interview with Dan Wootton, Dion said that those who don't like her looks need not be bothered. Quote, "Don't take a picture." The star further revealed that she's just experimenting with different looks because naturally she wants to feel attractive. She added, quote, "I'm doing this for me. I want to feel strong, beautiful, feminine, fierce, and sexy." According to the icon, it's not about being thin or too thin, it's about feeling your best. Number 2. Doja Cat. Doja Cat is sick of trolls at this point who are commenting on her body online, and she's taken to social media to call out people doing it. On June 25th, Doja went on Instagram Live, and she used it as an opportunity to address people who think it's okay to make remarks about her weight. The 26-year-old filmed herself sitting at her laptop while she got Siri to recite a passage that she wrote in response to people saying she's too skinny, and making creepy comments about her body. Via Siri, she says that people constantly bring up the fact that she's skinny because they think that it's their place to speak about it, but she clarified that it's down to her decision to eat more healthy and work out. Quote, "I used to be thick, and that's forever going to be your problem. Your problem, not mine." She goes on to say that while the internet is suffering about how her body looks, she's happy and living her best life. She even called commentators creepy when they say they prefer how she used to look, because it has nothing to do with her own health or happiness. And coming in at number 1, Sarah Hyland. After she was accused of promoting anorexia with her appearance, Modern Family's Sarah Hyland took to Twitter in May of 2017 to finally respond to some of the barrage of body shaming that she's been receiving online. Quote, "I don't normally comment on things like this because it draws attention to those trying to spread negativity, but I'm here to explain a few things and spread love." At the time, the actress wasn't ready to share all of what she's been going through, but she did tell her fans that she's been on bed rest over the course of several months, and as a result, had lost a lot of muscle mass. But it wasn't until late 2018 when Hyland was actually ready to openly talk about her health struggles. The actress told Self magazine that she had received a second kidney transplant and underwent several surgeries, including one for endometriosis and another for an abdominal hernia, within the 6 months before the interview.
So starting off our list today at number 10, we have Brooke Burke. Brooke Burke has somehow been able to stay in her Hollywood cover girl shape into her 50s, as the Jane the Virgin actress claims it's because she likes to stay on top of the latest health trends. When she told the Daily Mail, "I'm obsessed with biohacking and doing a deep dive into innovative longevity opportunities, and it feels amazing." So if you don't know what biohacking is, it is known as human augmentation or human enhancement, and it's pretty much a do-it-yourself biology improving performance, health, and well-being through strategic interventions. Some biohacking techniques can include include things such as meditation and intermittent fasting. Brooke also went on to name her top 3 exercises she does every day when she said, "I like to stretch and do a booty burn circuit, as well as child pose push-ups," before noting that her 4-week booty challenge is timed out to be just 10 minutes a day, and it is a full circle of every move to tone, tighten, and lift her glutes. She also likes to employ body sculpting, yoga, meditation, red light therapy, vision workshops, and crystal sound bath healings. Number 9. Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is no stranger to diet controversy, but her 2022 weight loss for the Met Gala prompted concern from experts who said her extreme tactics were potentially unhealthy. When Kim said she lost 16 pounds in the matter of weeks by cutting out sugar and carbs as she just ate the cleanest veggies and protein, she would also note that she ran on the treadmill and wore a sauna suit so she could shed the pounds even more. However, cutting carbs and upping the cardio may result in weight loss initially, much of which may just be water weight, and it can often lead to rebound weight gain known as yo-yo dieting that may worsen health issues over time, as it's really only healthy to lose 1 or 2 pounds a week. And it's more ideal to make small achievable changes to your lifestyle and daily habits, so don't do what Kim did. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. At number 8, we have Rebel Wilson. When Rebel Wilson kicked herself into an overhauled lifestyle in 2020, she declared this would be her year of health. As part of the changes, she reportedly started to file a diet based on theories an Austrian physician developed about 100 years ago, also called the Mayer method, which is pretty much a complex set of habits that has become a basis of treatment at the Viva Mayer, a chain of luxury wellness and medical spas that are beloved by celebrities. Experts have claimed that the Mayer method is a mix of good advice and a pseudo science nonsense. For instance, the diet emphasized mindful eating or slowing down to enjoy the experience of your food, which can be a great way to get in tune with your appetite and avoid overeating. However, the instructions to chew at least each bite 40 times is a little excessive, according to dietitians. Similarly, the Mayer method's principles of cutting out caffeine, sugar, and dairy, and non-snacking between meals or eating raw food after 4 p.m. just aren't really science-based. The diets of so-called high alkaline foods like fruits and veggies are healthy, but they're nutrient dense, not because they actually balance your pH levels like experts say. Number 7, Beyonce. So back in 2006, Beyonce told Oprah that she lost weight for her role in Dreamgirls by using the Master Cleanse diet, a restrictive juice fast, but now it just seems like she's promoting other extreme plans. So the Master Cleanse is a 10-day juice cleanse that requires participants to eat nothing and drink only lemon, maple syrup, and cayenne pepper. And let me just tell you, the concoction isn't worth it, as for one, it tastes disgusting, and restricting your calories to just a lemon drink means you won't get essential nutrients, and the lack of fiber, protein, and healthy fats will make you feel sluggish and feel hungry for the entire diet. The diet can also lead to heart and kidney problems as well as long-term weight gain. But most recently, Beyonce has been selling access to her plant-based recipes for a 22-day plan that provides any member who wants to do it a 1,400 calorie a day diet, and somehow it contains a green smoothie with 8 teaspoons of sugar. This diet can also be dangerous for the average person to follow without a team of nutritionists and trainers like Beyonce has. So maybe don't try it. Number 6, Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey swears the reason she has been able to stay in shape is thanks to Norwegian salmon and capers. In an interview with E! News, Mariah would tell the outlet, "It's really hard, my diet, you would hate it. All you eat is Norwegian salmon and capers every day, that's it." She further clarified she's tried to stick to proteins and it's the worst. Although eating protein can help you keep satisfied throughout the day, eating nothing but salmon means you won't get critical nutrients found in food like vegetables, fruits, and grains. It should go without saying, eating Mariah's diet isn't really sustainable in the long run either, and if you're really wanting to lose weight and keep it off, you really should be following the food guidelines and matching it with your daily exercise routine. Number 5, Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt's bizarre weight loss trend involved him following a fast called Daniel Diet, which strangely enough is inspired from the Bible. So the Daniel Dieters trend trend involves participants to eat fruits, vegetables, and unleavened bread for 21 days straight, with the overall goal of regaining focus on Christ-centered its teachings. According to the Daniel Diet website, like other restrictive diets, the diet relies on the idea that the body needs to detoxify itself. But a special eating diet plan isn't necessary to make this happen. Diets that severely restrict calories or types of food you eat usually don't lead to lasting weight loss, and it may not provide you with all the nutrients you need. So just because a company claims that their trend is good because it revolves around the Bible doesn't necessarily mean it's the right trend for you. So before you try any diet, consulting your doctor, a nutritionist, and a trainer. Number 4, Shailene Woodley. Shailene Woodley is known most for her roles in Divergent, Fault in Our Stars, and Big Little Lies. And now because of her weird weight loss trend that revolves around her eating a half teaspoon of clay and drinking 8 ounces of water every morning. She even once told a beauty blog clay is one of the best things you can put in your body. What's even more shocking is that apparently Shailene heard about all of this from a taxi driver, and she went on to say it binds to other materials in your body to help you get rid of negative isotopes. And before you go and try this trend, just know it's all bogus and your kidneys and liver don't need help processing toxins. Also, while clay might have trace amounts of some beneficial materials like iron and calcium, there are better ways to obtain them, like for instance by eating foods rich in those minerals such as spinach, broccoli, kale, and nuts. Number 3, Marilyn Monroe. So in a 1952 interview, Marilyn Monroe described her dieting choices as being absolutely bizarre. And she wasn't exactly wrong, as the late actress was eating raw eggs whipped into milk, which heads up, don't try, as it could lead to salmonella poisoning. And she also skipped lunch before a dinner of steak and 5 carrots. The whole diet can easily cause a dieter to lose on essential nutrients. And if you were wondering how the actress would finish the night, she would always eat a hot fudge sundae for dessert. The late actress's diet appears to be an attempt at calorie restriction and high protein diet, but eating so little fiber and fresh produce can lead to nutrient deficiencies, heart problems, and the feeling of sluggishness. Number 2, Miranda Kerr. Like many celebrities, Miranda Kerr from time to time likes to go on the juice cleanse wagon. So lately the juice cleanse has become a huge part of celebrity diet culture, as many believe these cleanses are meant to flush the body of toxins and act as a dietary reset. Even though these aren't science-backed weight loss methods, whether the cleanse involves foregoing meals altogether or replacing select meals with juice, the concept of a juice cleanse doesn't really match up with human biology. The body has a built-in detox system that gets rid of toxins and pricey sugar water. Even registered dietitian Rachel Hartley once told Insider, "We go to the bathroom. When our liver is functioning, the body does all the cleansing and detoxifying itself. There's no need to follow a certain diet plan to do that." Also, not to mention restricting calories so severely could certainly result in weight loss, but at the cost of feeling tired, hangry, and being unable to keep the diet up for more than a week's time. And if you tried longer, you'll definitely become nutrient deficient. Number 1, Christina Aguilera. Christina Aguilera's diet was based on the 2003 book 7-Day Color Diet, which was written by Jessica Weasel Courtney and Mindy Weasel. In the book, dieters are told to eat foods in only one color group each day, consuming items that are white, green, orange, purple, yellow, and rainbow, and in that order. The thinking is that this way of grouping food ensures dieters to get all the nutrients because different colored foods offer different ones. Although limiting yourself to one color day isn't unhealthy as long as you mainly eat unprocessed fresh foods, the same effects can be achieved if a person eats colorful, nutrient-dense meals every day for a week. The diet may also be difficult to follow for some people, so eating a simple, balanced, and rainbow-colored diet is also fine too.
Number 10, Kareena Kapoor. Kareena Kapoor is a very popular Indian actress who has appeared in many Hindi films, winning numerous awards, nominations, writing 3 books, and having her own retail clothing line. In 2016, 2016, Karina gave birth to her first child at the age of 36 and quickly got to work to lose the post-pregnancy weight. In order to achieve this, she followed a rigid diet plan, extensive yoga routine, and even apparently had an orange juice diet. Despite her many awards, accomplishments, and seemingly positive outlook, people online were quick to criticize her change in weight after the pregnancy, even those who had previously made comments about her being too large or chubby. People flocked to her Instagram to make comments saying things like, "She looks like a skeleton," "Malnutrition problem," "What happened with Karina? She lost her beauty," and many more inappropriate and damaging comments. It seems Karina can't catch a break, as after gaining weight again due to her second pregnancy, she was called fat by another Pakistani actress, Hira Mani. Number 9. Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Hudson, a famous singer and actress who launched her career on American Idol, was another celebrity who fell under public criticism after losing weight. In just about a year, she managed to lose an incredible 80 pounds. She stated that she was taking on the drastic change in order to set a better example for her son, as she believed the root of her weight issues came from unhealthy and harmful eating habits. In order to lose the weight, Jennifer completely transformed her diet with the help of Weight Watchers and was excited to share the story of her journey on talk shows like Oprah. Unfortunately, it seems that people watching her transformation did not share her excitement about the change. Fans and viewers believed that because she was a celebrity who has personal chefs, nutritionists, and the organization of Weight Watchers to access easily, that she didn't actually have to work hard to achieve her weight loss. Adele was also dragged in, as she commented on a scenario where Jennifer had recommended Weight Watchers to her, and she said she'd been pretty offended by it. Number 8. Ashley Graham. In 2020, Ashley Graham, who had been a plus-size model, fell under fire for a weight loss change that fans felt was going against her entire message. Most of the hate came under an Instagram post where she first appeared noticeably thinner. Ashley lost weight by pursuing both a healthy diet and consistent workout routine, including running marathons. As a plus-size model who had preached body positivity, fans were shocked by seeing her appear thinner on social media. They made comments saying that by losing weight, she was going against her message of embracing your size and loving your body. People criticized why she would want to change herself and lose weight when she had spoken about being comfortable being herself and being a plus-size woman. Graham responded to the outpouring of hatred with a touching sentiment saying, "At the end of the day, I'm good enough for me." She has had a long battle with body shaming, both from modeling agencies telling her to be thinner and then fans shaming her for losing weight. It seems like there's no way to win. Number 7. Khloe Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian, one of the members of the reality famous Kardashian family, is definitely not the first member of the family to undergo changes to her body, but she definitely was one of those who received harsh criticism for it. After having her child with Tristan Thompson, Khloe was another celeb to take to the gym to start losing the pregnancy weight. Also, potentially in response to the fans of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, who would refer to Khloe as the fat sister. Khloe states that the gym was her escape, managing to lose an impressive 60 pounds and continuing to stay fit to this day. Unfortunately, a lot of fans were not so impressed by the weight loss, instead choosing to be offended and disappointed about the situation. They said that Khloe's plus-size presence on the show had made her a more relatable and endearing character. Amy Schumer said that Khloe had been a role model for little girls to be themselves, but that after Khloe lost weight, she was no longer suitable as an example. Good Place actress Jamila Jamil also commented on the situation in a response to an Instagram post by Khloe where she said, "2 things a girl wants. 1. Lose weight. 2. Eat." Jamil responded by saying that had made her sad and that the industry had fat-shamed her into a prison of self-critique. Number 6. Gabby Sidibe. Gabby Sidibe is another celebrity who has faced body-shaming criticism on both sides of the spectrum. Gabby, who started her acting career in 2009 with the film Precious, was often criticized for her looks and size, despite her numerous awards and nominations and clear talent in acting. Howard Stern even took to calling her enormous, though other actors, including Whoopi Goldberg, were quick to defend her. After being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, she underwent a weight loss surgery, which transformed her stomach into a smaller size. Gabby stated that without the surgery, she never would have lost weight and seemed to be confident with her new body and look. However, a lot of people criticized her method of weight loss, looking down on her choice to receive a surgery in order to transform her body. She responded by saying she's not bothered by these comments, stating that it's her body and people should focus on their own. While controversial
controversial to some people, she's not the only big name to undergo weight loss surgery. Number 5. Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey is a singer who was most popular in the 90s and has managed to ride that fame to the current day. Most likely, a lot of that can be attributed to her holiday hit, All I Want for Christmas Is You, coming back year after year to top Google searches and blare over grocery store speakers. A few years ago, Mariah appeared looking suddenly a bit skinnier. While there was some argument over how she lost the weight, it was revealed that she had likely undergone a gastric sleeve surgery. Mariah said that she had chosen to lose weight and undergo the surgery because she had never felt comfortable with her body due to body shamers, online commenters, and others critiquing her weight fluctuations. Unfortunately, the choice seemed to just bring more commenters and shamers towards her. People seemed shocked that she would get the surgery without having a major weight or medical problem, and even criticized the doctor that had agreed to perform it. Number 4. Meghan Trainor. Meghan Trainor, the singer of All About That Bass fame, is another celeb to join the list of those who wanted to change and improve their lifestyle when having children. After having her child, she appeared at least 20 pounds lighter than she had previously been. Fans were shocked to say the least when they saw that the change had taken place. Her most famous songs seemed to be about body positivity and loving yourself, no matter what you looked like, and especially if you were plus sized. So, similar to Ashley Graham, fans saw her weight loss as going against her message of acceptance and being comfortable in your own skin, questioning if she was just another celeb to preach about going against expectations just to succumb to them herself. But Meghan states her reasons for weight loss as wanting to have a better lifestyle, feel better mentally, and apparently even saying, "I just want to live forever, man. I want to stay looking young forever." Me too, Meghan. She was also attacked by online commenters who made fun of her for losing the base that had made her as famous as she is. While facing criticism, many also believe that she's still a true role model to fans for how to change your lifestyle in a healthy and positive way. Number 3. Mama June. June Shannon, more commonly known to fans and viewers as Mama June, gained her celebrity status from being a main character on the reality series Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, a series which focused on her daughter, young country pageant queen Honey Boo Boo. This show seemed to be a cultural phenomenon when it came out, turning millions of eyes towards the family and as a result, making them a lot of money. A few years ago, Mama June underwent multiple surgeries in order to try and completely transform the look of her body. These included a gastric sleeve and having her breasts altered. She even managed to lose so much weight that she had surgery to remove all the excess skin left on her body. The reason for the changes seemed to have been a result of body image issues. Her daughter saying that even after the transformation, she still sees herself as fat. Fans were left upset by the drastic change because they believed that she was taking advantage of her fame and money to make far too extreme changes to her body. She also continues to receive criticism from fans for promoting things like weight loss drinks in ads on her social media pages. Number 2. Rebel Wilson. Rebel Wilson, an Australian actress you likely know best for her performance as Fat Amy in the Pitch Perfect series, or perhaps her nightmarish involvement in the live-action Cats. Whatever you know her from, it's easy to identify her as a character actress, as she was often cast to play the plus-sized comic relief character, never really being known for many serious roles. In 2020, she made the decision to make a change to her body, starting what she called her year of fitness. She spoke about trying to defeat her bad habit of emotional eating. After a year, she stunned the public with just how much her body had changed due to her efforts, and said that she was very proud of maintaining the weight loss and managing her eating issues. But despite her own confidence and pride, a lot of people criticized the change, and Rebel commented on how she had received more media attention over her body than over any of her work-related achievements. Fans were upset that she was apparently sending the message that you need to be skinny to be successful, saying that she had given in to the pressure of the industry. She even received negative comments from her Hollywood team, who told her that it was a bad choice, as it would make her harder to find work after her success of being the funny fat girl in movies and television. Number 1. Adele. Adele Adkins, more famously known by just her first name of Adele, is a very famous singer, constantly topping charts and making headlines for her incredibly popular music. In 2019, Adele first started losing weight, and over time lost around a whopping 100 pounds. She credits the weight loss to her rigid fitness routine, which includes deadlifting, boxing, and circuit training. She also commented on how fitness improved her mental health, saying it improved her anxiety and not having to look at her phone so much. Adele received very similar criticism to Rebel Wilson, as many of her fans viewed her as a role model for plus-size women and how you don't have to be skinny to be successful. They took to social media saying things like, "Skinny Adele feels like a betrayal." They felt that the plus-size community had been responsible for her fame, so when she lost the weight, they saw it as a betrayal of the people and community who had gotten her to where she is. In response, Adele said that she remains body positive no matter what size she is. She says she understands why some women were hurt, but she's still the same person and she did it for herself and not anyone else, which I think is a very important sentiment to keep in mind when considering changing any aspect of yourself.
Starting off this countdown, we have Rebel Wilson. Rebel Wilson said that 2020 was the year of health for her and decided to document her weight loss transformation on social media. Now, Rebel has had it rough for years. She was constantly fat shamed by the media, and she said that people treated her differently when she lost weight. She said, and I quote, "Sometimes being bigger, people didn't necessarily look twice at you. And now that I'm in a good shape, like people offer to carry my groceries to the car and hold doors open for you. I was like, is this what other people experienced all the time?" Not only that, but Rebel couldn't lose weight while she was filming Pitch Perfect. Her character's name is Fat Amy, and well, according to her, she couldn't gain or lose 10 pounds, which is insane. Hollywood was literally controlling her appearance. But after Pitch Perfect, Rebel told herself it was time to lose weight. Now, this decision was made by her desire to be a mom. Now, Rebel has polycystic ovarian syndrome, which can affect fertility. Well, during a visit to her fertility doctor in 2019, she was told that she would do much better if she was healthier. She said, and I quote, "I was taken aback. I thought, oh god, this guy's so rude. He was right. I was carrying around a lot of excess weight. It's almost like I didn't think of my own needs. I thought of a future child's needs. That really inspired me to get healthier." From there, she dropped more than 70 pounds. She said that she did so by eating healthier and focusing on physical and mental self-care. In our 9th spot, we have Demi Lovato. Now, in the past, the singer and actor revealed that her weight does fluctuate and that she has suffered from bulimia. In March of 2021, she posted on Instagram showing off her midriff, saying that she accidentally lost weight, which was most likely stress-related. Lovato then went on to embrace her naturally curvy body, which is gorgeous. But just recently, Lovato showed up to the Hugo Boss runway show in Miami looking thinner again. Demi rocked a sleek white crop top that showed off her midriff, and she paired this with a flowy maxi skirt and a sheer coat. She looked dang good. And she seems to be doing good as well. She revealed that she no longer counts calories, she no longer over-exercises or restricts/purges. And she doesn't live her life according to the diet culture. Amen, Demi. The way it should be, I'm proud. Coming in at number 8, we have Jonah Hill. Back in 2018, Jonah Hill announced that he was starting to transform his body with martial arts. On social media, he wrote that he was trying to train 4 to 5 times a week. He continued on saying, and I quote, "At 35, I try and get over the stuff that made me feel weak and insecure as a teenager. It's just wasted time and lessons you'll never learn. Trying to let go of that." In 2021, Jonah really slimmed down. In fact, he took to Instagram to say how proud he is of his weight loss and of his body. He posted an image from the Daily Mail that was talking about him surfing in a wetsuit and a paparazzi photo of him shirtless. He responded to this saying, and I quote, "I don't think I ever took my shirt off in a pool until I was in my mid-30s, even in front of family and friends." He continued on saying that his childhood was filled with insecurities. I mean, he was constantly bullied by the media for his appearance, but now he's not bothered by any of this anymore, which is amazing. Coming in at number 7, we have Kelly Osbourne. Now, Kelly's drastic weight loss shocked fans. In 2021, she posted a photo to her Instagram, and fans were confused. And that's because she didn't even look like herself in this photo. One Twitter user wrote, "Amazing what surgery can do," while another asked, "Did you also get lips done or makeup done all around them? Look way different." Someone else added, "Who is this? I'm very confused." Now, Now, in the photo, Kelly's face looks very slim, but also it looks like she got quite a lot of work done. Now, what I find crazy is that Kelly said that people cared more about her weight than they did when she was suffering from addiction. This just shows you how messed society is. Now, Kelly is very open with her weight loss. She said that she underwent weight loss surgery. She got gastric sleeve surgery, which basically a part of the stomach is removed to reduce its volume. Now, when you get this surgery done, it can be hard to keep the weight off. But Kelly says that she changed her diet as well. She is now on a plant-based vegan diet and also does intermittent fasting. Not only that, but she beat her addiction to alcohol, which has also helped her figure. And at number 6 we have Khloe Kardashian. Now, we have seen Khloe's figure change quite drastically through the years. Sometimes by Photoshop, other times by surgery. Now, the press always had it out for Khloe. They often labeled her as the ugly fat sister, which negatively impacted her and her confidence. For years, she felt the need to diet or lose weight to prove herself to the media. She told the media that she started focusing on losing weight after her divorce from Lamar Odom. After that, she lost 35 pounds. Her secret was working out. She used working out as a coping method from all the stress from the divorce. But some fans have gone too far in their speculation about Khloe's method of losing weight. Some have accused her of undergoing weight loss and cosmetic procedures. Others think that she was being very restrictive with her diet and excessive at the gym. Nowadays, Khloe said that she's at the point where she loves her body and she's more confident. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with June Edith Shannon, who we know best as Mama June, aka Honey Boo Boo's mother. The reality TV star started her weight loss journey with the show Mama June From Not to Hot, which, don't get me started on how toxic this show is, basically saying that the only way she could be hot was to lose weight. Anyways, as part of her glow up, Mama June decided to undergo gastric sleeve surgery, and then she later had a tummy tuck. As a result, she went from 500 pounds to 150, a huge difference. But she later revealed she didn't feel healthy being at 150. She said, and I quote, "Yeah, when I was a size 2 at 150, I was way too damn small. Now I'm 250 and I feel good. Even when I was 500, people didn't believe I was 500. She now is no longer focusing on her weight. Instead, she decided to shift her focus to beating her addiction." In our 4th spot today, we have Adele. Adele first started losing weight in October of 2019. While doing so, she kept it all on the down low. That was until Christmas of that year when she posted a photo on Instagram showing off her new figure. Her weight loss started after her divorce from her ex-husband. From there, she started to lift weights and do circuit training. She said, and I quote, "I do my weights in the morning, then I normally hike or I box in the afternoon, and then I go and do my cardio at night. I'm an athlete." Now, Adele didn't do any magic diet or fad. She lost the weight by consistently working out for 2 years. Now, she said this amazing quote, which I think everyone should hear. She said, "I was body positive before my weight loss, and I'm body positive now." Amen to that. We need more celebrities promoting body positivity and loving yourself no matter what your size is. But it's sad that celebrities feel forced to lose weight. In an interview with Oprah, Adele revealed, and I quote, "My body has been objectified my entire career." But in the end, Adele revealed that she lost the weight for herself, not because of the media's pressure. In our 3rd spot, we have Drew Carey. Comedian and game show host Drew Carey lost 80 pounds in 2010 after being on a strict diet and exercise. Now, his reason for weight loss was because he said that it sucked being fat. Now, that's a really harsh statement, and it seems a bit fatphobic to me. In an interview with People magazine, he said, and I quote, "I like being skinny. I was sick of being fat on the camera. I just got sick of it." So his reason for weight loss was because he didn't like the way that he looked on camera. Like I've been saying, celebrities feel pressured to look a certain way for the cameras, which really affects their confidence levels. Now, Carey took this weight loss seriously. He was on a very strict diet. He cut out carbs completely. He didn't have corn, beans, or starches of any kind. He would snack on fruits and veggies and turn to egg whites or Greek yogurt for breakfast. He also does about 45 minutes of cardio when he can. Not only that, but he didn't drink anything but water. No milk, no coffee, tea, soda, alcohol, nothing. In the end, he actually beat his diabetes. He had type 2 diabetes, but not anymore. Coming in at number 2, we have Chris Pratt. Fans were left speechless and wanting more when they saw Chris Pratt turn his dad bod into a trim body with six-pack abs. He did this for his 2014 role in Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyways, Pratt revealed that he actually had to gain weight for his role in Parks and Rec. He hit about 300 pounds, and that's when he said, and I quote, he felt impotent, fatigued, and emotionally depressed. I personally find it crazy when celebrities drop their weight drastically or gain weight drastically, all for movies or TV roles. Like, that is not healthy at all. Especially when they go from one extreme to another. When he auditioned for the Marvel movie, he knew that he had to lose the weight. So he worked with a trainer 6 days a week, 3 to 4 hours a day, going through extremely vigorous workouts. In the end, he lost 60 pounds in 6 months and kept it all off for his role in Jurassic Park. And in our number 1 spot today, we have Mindy Kaling. Now, Mindy actually sparked a lot of controversy regarding her weight loss, and that's because fans are convinced that she did this in unhealthy ways. It all started when she made an appearance at the Oscars. Her dresses were stunning, by the way. But anyway, people quickly jumped online and started gossiping about her appearance. Viewers speculated that she was using Ozempic, which is a brand name for a diabetes and weight loss drug, meaning a number of celebs probably use this drug for their weight loss. But as of now, the actress has not address these rumors. But when speaking about her weight loss, Mindy said, and I quote, "Honestly, I didn't really do anything differently. I eat what I like to eat. If I do any kind of restrictive diet, it never really works for me. I just eat less of it." Mindy also revealed her bad relationship towards food and exercise, saying that she would overeat or eat as a coping mechanism, and she would look at exercise as a punishment. But now she has changed her outlook of eating and exercise, and it allowed her to lose more than 40 pounds. Alright folks, that's all for today's video. Again, I just want to say that these celebrities were all amazing and beautiful before and after their transformations. They don't have to look a certain way to be hot, and neither do you. Body positivity comes in all shapes and sizes.
Coming in at number 10 is Jennifer Lawrence. In 2017 at Elle's Women in Hollywood event, Jennifer Lawrence spoke about the film industry's approach to body image. She told the story of when she was a young actress. She says she was asked to lose 15 pounds in 2 weeks for a part in a film, which is an insane request, but not only was she told to shed the weight, but she was forced to strip down and compare herself to other actresses who did not have the role. She said, quote, "During this time, a female producer had me do a nude lineup with about 5 women who were much thinner than me. We are stood side by side with only tape covering our privates. After that degrading and humiliating lineup, the female producer told me I should use the naked photos of myself as inspiration for my diet." End quote. Anyone else feel their blood boiling? Cause I kinda do, just a smidge, just a little bit. Yeah. She went on to say that the experience made her feel trapped, and that she now continuously reminds herself that she deserves to be treated with respect. And I'm so glad she could take that horrible experience and spin it into a positive thing for herself. That's not easy. Number 9, Chris Pratt. Before Chris Pratt landed the role of Scott Hatterberg in Moneyball, he says he was told he had to lose weight. While he did actually go through with the weight loss so that he would be cast in the film, he says he ended up doing it in a pretty unhealthy way, which is part of the problem. I think if a production asks an actor to lose weight, they should provide resources to do so, since they think it's as easy as just doing it. He told Vanity Fair that, quote, "That was the first time I heard someone say, 'We're not gonna cast you, you're too fat.' So I decided to drop the weight like in wrestling. I couldn't afford a trainer, so it was all running and crash dieting and cutting alcohol." End quote. If you're gonna tell someone to cut down and expect them to do it out of their own pocket when the industry is already expensive to be a part of, I don't know, maybe be a little less harsh about it. Number 8, Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer may have been the writer of her film Trainwreck, but her control over the project stopped when it came to her own appearance in her own film that she wrote. She says that she was told she needed to lose weight in order to take on the lead role. On the Jonathan Ross show, Schumer jokingly described the experience by saying, quote, "It was explained to me before I did that movie that if you weigh over 140 pounds as a woman in Hollywood, if you're on the screen, it will hurt people's eyes. So I lost some weight to do that, but never again." Again, she did this for her own film that she wrote. Number 7, David Harbour. During a 2017 interview with The Wrap, David Harbour talked about his ironic experience auditioning to play the Blob in a Wolverine movie. When David Harbour auditioned to play the role, he ended up getting told by the director that he should probably shed some pounds, despite despite the fact that he was auditioning to play a character named the Blob. David said in the interview, quote, he was like, "David, look, you're wonderful. We really think you're just a great actor. We're just concerned. We're really concerned." And I was like, "Why? What's your concern? I'm good to go. I'm available. Let's do this." And they were like, "No, it's just you lifted up your shirt and we saw we're just a little worried about your health." And I was like, "Wait a minute, dude, pause for a second. You are telling me I'm too fat to play the Blob. That's awesome! I have to get the F back to New York. That's my audition, so I didn't get the Blob." And personally, this is one I find somewhat hilarious just because of how ridiculous it is. Number 6, Kate Beckinsale. Kate Beckinsale says that when she auditioned for Michael Bay's Pearl Harbor right after giving birth, Mr. Bay told her she'd quote unquote have to work out if she got the part. Kate told the story on the Graham Norton show saying, quote, "I don't think I fit the type of actress Michael Bay had met before. I think he was baffled by me because my boobs weren't bigger than my head and I wasn't blonde. I just had my daughter and had lost weight, but was told that if I got the part I'd have to work out, and I just didn't understand why a 1940s nurse would do that." End quote. Apparently the director then continued to insult her body through the production process of the movie. Kate's right, a 1940s nurse wouldn't do that. A lot of things in that movie aren't accurate, but honestly, have you seen a Michael Bay film? Number 5, Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill said in an interview with Men's Health magazine, when he auditioned to play James Bond in a film, the director told him he was too chubby, quote unquote, for the role. To audition, Cavill said he had to walk out with just a towel on, saying, quote, "I remember the director, Martin Campbell, saying, 'Looking a little chubby there, Henry,' end quote," which, screw you dude, that's kinda rude, what the hell? But Cavill said he was following a poor diet at the time, and overall, the director's comment made him rethink his physical health and how he eats. "I don't know how to train for a diet," he told the publication. Continuing, "And I'm glad Martin said something because I respond well to truth. It helps me get better." Again, it's great to see an actor take these things in a positive way, but it just goes to show the tough skin actors are required to have when they're in Hollywood. Number 4, Mindy Kaling. Mindy Kaling's story is a lot like Amy Schumer's actually. Before The Office, a network offered Mindy Kaling a sketch comedy show based on her own life, which is great. Who better to play a person than that person? So it's a little strange though that this same network made Mindy audition for her own part and then rejected her from the role because she wasn't quote unquote considered attractive or funny enough to play herself. What? She told The Guardian, quote, "That network is no longer on the air and The Office went on to be one of NBC's most hit shows in years. I feel like karmically I was vindicated, but at the time it felt terrible," unquote. Number 3, Carrie Fisher. Even when you are reprising an older version of a character you already played 30 years ago, some people in the industry still only care about how you look. Star Wars actress Carrie Fisher was pressured into losing 35 pounds in order to reprise her iconic role as Princess Leia in Star Wars The Force Awakens. She told Good Housekeeping, quote, "Nothing changes. It's an appearance-driven thing. I'm in a business where the only thing that matters is weight and appearance. That is so messed up. They might as well say get younger because that's how easy it is. It doesn't matter how great of an actress you are, doesn't matter if you played the role iconically when you were younger, Hollywood is Hollywood. Maybe it needs to change, I don't know." Number 2, Ashley Benson. In 2016, Ashley Benson was told she was quote unquote too fat for a role, to which she responded, quote, "I'm a size 2. I cried for 30 minutes, but then you have to let it just roll off your shoulders or it could cause a serious eating disorder," end quote. She told Ocean Drive, quote, "A lot of people in this industry hear they need to lose weight more times than they should. It does make you stronger though, because if you let that affect you, you can't be in this industry. You'd go crazy." End quote. And that's the hard truth of it, really. Number 1, Margaret Cho. And to end off this list is an example of just why this kind of behavior is dangerous. ABC told Margaret Cho that she was too overweight to play the part of herself in her semi-autobiographical sitcom All-American Girl. Cho ended up hospitalized with kidney failure from not eating. Years later, she told The Cut, quote, "Being called ugly and fat and disgusting to look at from the time I could barely understand what the words meant has scarred me so deep inside that I have learned to hunt, stalk, claim, own, and defend my own loveliness and my image of myself as stunningly gorgeous with a ruthlessness and a defensiveness that I fear for anyone who casually or jokingly questions it."
Coming in at number 10, we have Erin Moriarty. Erin Moriarty, who plays Starlight on The Boys, has been linked to weight loss speculation, as fans believe that she has undergone surgery on her face and has had liposuction done to lose weight, as she looks way too skinny now. Meanwhile, some even believe that Erin may have an eating disorder. When the new season was released back in August, many would become skeptical about Erin's participation in the show. With her appearance changing recently, many fans were sort of displeased with it. If you compare pictures of Erin before and after, she surely looks slimmer and fitter. Though the difference is not that huge, Erin does seem to appear fitter. As the actress's transformation may have stunned many, it's not hard to see why fans have speculated that she has had liposuction done, as her snatched look is usually the results of weight loss caused by liposuction. With Erin's role being a superhero, it surely put pressure on her to be perfect, and part of her role asked her to remain in the best shape, and this could be the main reason behind Erin's weight loss. Though there's not an exact number of how much weight Erin has exactly lost, it can be said that she lost enough to look stunning in her role as Starlight, with the latest confirming that Erin previously had bad eating habits before the show, so her weight loss could be caused by her changing her lifestyle, and it proves that you can't always judge a person's appearance by what you read or see online. And number 9, Heidi Klum. It seems like Heidi Klum just can't get a break when it comes to her weight. With having a busy schedule, it has caused the model to lose around 30 to 40 pounds over the last couple of years. While Heidi has always looked stunning, she recently appears to be more skeletal than usual. Now, since Heidi is a model, she's always maintained her body for modeling and also for her health, and people have been concerned about her health since it seems like she dropped her weight way too quickly. With Heidi being 5'10", it seems like she's just far too thin for her frame. While doctors have explained it's common for busy moms to focus on so much before their needs, especially on their children, they forget to eat, and this could be the main reason behind Heidi's strange weight loss. With the model looking like she lost an extreme amount of weight, she also has no muscle tone, which shows that her weight loss had nothing to do with fitness. While people have been worrying about Heidi, she would publicly share her diet after many people became concerned about her health earlier this year. Looking at her body, it's not hard to see why fans have been speculating that the model starves herself to maintain her body, but the truth is she doesn't, and she just has a strict diet plan and focuses on healthy food. Heidi tends to fill her plate with nutrient-rich food such as carbs, lean protein, veggies, and fruit, which help her eat healthy and maintain her body weight at the same time. So while a lot of people have been worried, it seems like Heidi is living a happy and healthy life with her family, and there's nothing to be concerned about when it comes to her health. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming in at number 8, we have Raven-Symoné. Recently, Raven-Symoné has been receiving a huge amount of backlash after she updated her fans on her weight loss journey. Showing off her weight loss in a video she captioned as "pounds down, ear update," Raven could be seen showing off her weight loss in the video, and you could see Raven saying, "If you all watch Raven's home literally right now and come on this live and see this joint, I got a whole different face going on. It's a whole pound down journey." While many fans started to flood to the comments to support the actress, some fans weren't so kind after they learned that she lost over 40 pounds by kicking sugar out of her diet and following a strict keto diet with fasting. With one user writing, "Gonna have to unfollow for the weight loss plan. I'm in eating disorder recovery, and it's triggering and sad to watch people buy into diet culture. Hope you find sustainable living outside of this pound down mentality." Another user will write similar sentiments, while they said diet culture has you by the neck, and instead of accepting it, you should fight back. You're literally starving yourself to lose weight, and it's just so sad. While the post definitely drew in mixed reactions, there was still plenty of fans cheering on Raven with love and support. And number 7, Angelina Jolie. So back in August, news would start to circulate that Angelina Jolie had checked herself into a hospital because of extreme weight loss and an eating disorder. This would come years after fans started speculating that the actress was losing an insane amount of weight. While there has always been concerns about Angelina's weight and eating habits, she would finally go to the hospital to get looked at. While Angelina has been really coy when it comes to the exact reason behind her visit, while the visit was a routine checkup, it obviously was a good thing that she was being proactive and taking steps to look after herself. However, insiders would then say that Angelina's hospital admission still raises concerns due to the length of her stay. surgery, and because she apparently does not appear healthy, and that something more severe may be happening to the actress. To get the elephant out of the room, Angelina has been pretty hard on herself and her body to get to where she is in Hollywood right now, and with it, her eating habits have been pretty non-existent. While Angelina has been pictured with veins protruding all over her body due to her extreme thinness, the actress intends to get surgery done to conceal the veins so people stop commenting on her weight. While many people have also suggested that Angelina's weight loss is just the subject of unfounded and unfair rumors, it's definitely upsetting to see people body shame her and make assumptions about her health when they have no idea what her health is like. Number 6. Kate Moss. The controversies and criticisms surrounding Kate Moss have been often unfair and highly contradicting. While many people have urged the model to put on some weight, back in July, Kate would finally speak out after decades of being talked down to. While many people such as Zoe Williams have come out to defend the model by saying her slender figure was due to just the way she looks, it would also become inaccurate and unhelpful after Kate came out to say in the Desert Island Disc interview, "I was thin because I didn't get fed at shoots or in shows, and I've always been thin." The interview would highlight the problems in the modeling industry and therefore the role of the environmental factors models have to deal with. With the modeling industry making body standards extremely unrealistic, it has led to many people to adopt eating disorders so they can achieve the stick figure ideal. And essentially, for everyone to realize it's not okay to starve yourself, as it's not normal or healthy. At the height of Kate's modeling career, she's had a BMI around 15 to 16, which is well beneath the BMI of 17.5. Even if Kate had not suffered from this illness, it's clear she's not healthy or at a natural weight that she's supposed to be at. With the modeling industry making sure models' BMI is under 16, it's unrealistic. And while France, Spain, Italy, and Israel have all now adopted these laws banning ultra-thin models, seems like during Paris Fashion Week, the runways were filled with ultra-skinny models. Now, while this law is not to discriminate against anyone, it's simply meant to combat unhelpful beauty standards that have caused physical and mental strain on models themselves, and it needs to be fully adopted by the beauty industry completely. Number 5. Gigi Hadid. While fans for years now have been slamming Gigi Hadid's body for being too skinny or too big, Gigi has even smashed critics for being cruel. Back in 2018, Gigi would say, "For those of you so determined to come up with why my body has changed over the year, you may not know that I started at 17 and I was not yet diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease. For those of you calling me too big for the industry, you were seeing inflammation and water retention due to that." In March, Gigi would even reveal that while her mom was filming Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she would hide from the film crew. In some of the older episodes, Gigi could be seen talking to Yolanda about her love for volleyball and the struggle to choose between sports and modeling. In recent years, Yolanda has even been receiving a lot of backlash for things she said to her daughters on the show. While fans have believed that the star was putting damaging beliefs on body image into her daughters' minds, it has caused them to have issues with their appearance over the years. In one clip, Yolanda could be seen advising Gigi to give up volleyball as she referred to the sport as a masculine sport, so her body would be too bulky for modeling. She would also be seen pressuring Gigi to stay on a diet where she could be as skinny as other models in Milan. And number 4, Sarah Rue. Sarah Rue has always had a long desire to be slim, but she hasn't always had the time to do so due to her career. However, recently, everyone has been stunned when it comes to her recent photos as she's successfully been able to lose a huge amount of weight. Sarah has undergone an amazing shift and she looks almost completely unrecognizable when she hits the red carpet showing off her new look. Before losing the weight, Sarah had even been battling with obesity for her whole life, and she wanted to shed the excess pounds because they were making her feel miserable. Sarah then chose to trust Jenny Craig's expertise, and at the end of the program, she even got some excellent results. According to the consultant's advice, the actress reduced her calorie consumption. Sarah reduced her intake of carbohydrates by 50%, and she also shunned out all processed meals of any kind. Sarah then opted to increase the number of vegetables she ate, and with it, Sarah's been able to shed 50 pounds in an insane amount of time as she went from being a size 14 to a size 6. Sarah has become so dependent on her woman's diet that she's even gone as far as abstaining from meals, and she even joined a gym to help her tone down some more. While the star decided to go on a weight loss journey for her mental health, she definitely has always looked great. And number 3, Melissa McCarthy. Over the last year, Melissa McCarthy has lost over 75 pounds, and how she chose to do it definitely wasn't it. Now, Melissa decided to go on this crazy diet where she only consumed liquids. While the star has stated that she'll never go back to it, she did do it to lose 75 70 pounds in 4 months. With Melissa stating that she felt starved and crazy half of the time, a lot of her fans weren't happy with her statement, as no one should ever starve themselves to lose any amount of weight. While Melissa would finally notice that the best diets are the ones you don't make yourself starve on, she decided to go on a low-carb diet that seemed to go well for her. Even rumors would start to circulate online that stated Melissa had only dropped the weight because she was also taking a magic keto diet pill. However, for whatever reason, supporting liquid diets, weight loss pills, and extremely restrictive diet aren't healthy, and celebrities shouldn't be spreading misinformation about these diets so people follow them, as they can actually be quite damaging to their fans that choose to follow the same diet. Number 2, Adele. Back in July, Adele would open up about losing 100 pounds in weight and how it caused some of her fans to feel very betrayed by the star. Adele would open up about feeling terrible after she lost a huge amount of weight, as it upset some of her body-conscious younger fans. The singer, who showed off her new skinny figure on the cover of Vogue magazine last year, was so distressed to learn that losing weight caused some of her fans to suffer. Addressing the backlash, she explained that she shedded the pounds for herself after dealing with anxiety. While many fans felt disappointed Adele gave into the pressure of being skinny, they were concerned that she wasn't losing the weight safely. While Adele has had to face some major backlash due to her weight loss, it has even prompted her to cancel shows, as the backlash has caused her to feel like an empty shell. And she's even said that she won't be shamed, as it's not her job to make her fans feel better about their weight. And coming in number 1 today, we have Nicole Richie. When Nicole Richie rocketed into fame pretty much overnight following the premiere of The Simple Life, she instantly got put under a very unforgiving microscope. When Paris Hilton has been constantly mocked in the press for getting in trouble with the law and having a party lifestyle, when it came to the tabloids' treatment of Nicole Richie, for whatever reason, they always seemed to focus on her weight. In the beginning, it seemed like they labeled Nicole as overweight, and now it seems like the star keeps getting bashed for losing a huge amount of weight and for being too thin. Nicole has stated that she knows she's too thin right now, and she wouldn't want a young girl to look at her and think that they wanted to look like her. Nicole has also noted that when she gets stressed, she loses her appetite and tends not to eat. Unfortunately for Nicole, she is right about some people trying to get a body like her, but the only reason she even has influence on people is because the press always has been obsessed with her figure. Even her fans have been oddly obsessed with her figure, with one fan writing, "Love how skinny she is, I want to be that skinny. Still working on it." And this proves that the beauty industry needs to get away from projecting that you need to be skinny to be beautiful, because that's not the truth.
Number 10, Crystal Ren. The plus-size model seemed to stir up controversy and criticism online when she went from a size 14 to a size 8. Quote, "I think that by placing a title on my head, which is plus size, and then the picture that these people have created in their mind about what plus size actually is, I've basically just failed you with that." The model told ABC News that because she couldn't possibly live up to that, and that at this point she says she would actually have to have another eating disorder to live up to that expectation. Ren first started modeling at only 16 years old, and as a result, she struggled with in order to fit the mold of a sample model size, but she apparently still wasn't considered skinny enough in the industry and was almost out of work entirely. But Ren fought against it and eventually became an incredibly successful model at a size 10 to 14. But after dropping to a size 8, her agent Gary Decken told her that she was now in between plus size and sample size. Although she faced criticism for being too thin, Decken confirmed that the model is healthy and feels amazing. Number 9, Kelly Ripa. Live with Kelly and Ryan host is very used to people body shaming her and actually enjoys firing back at trolls. In an Instagram video of herself reading mean comments about her size, the actress said, quote, "I love trolling a troll, it is my favorite thing to do." This was all in response to one user complaining about the star wearing too much makeup, claiming that it made Ripa look like a wax figure. The host then made a joke that she actually wears more makeup than a wax figure, and she would know since there's a wax figure of her at Madame Tussauds. But most trolls attack Kelly's weight, with one user writing that they think her head looks too big for her tiny body. She then clapped back by telling them that 2 was misspelled, but unfortunately she is all too familiar with the comments about her small frame. In fact, her husband, Mark Consuelos, even had to come to his wife's defense on Instagram in 2018 after several people would not stop criticizing the host for just being too skinny. Quote, "She works extremely hard in her professional life, and her commitment to exercise, healthy diet is admirable, and the benefits show. Gotta Gotta love that support from her husband, and that's really great to see. Number 8, Ariel Winter. When one person on Twitter pitted Ariel Winter against Ariana Grande, they were both labeled curves and sticks respectively. But the thing is that Ariel has also been on the receiving end of skinny shaming. The star of Modern Family shared a series of photos of herself on Instagram in January 2019, and she received a barrage of hate comments about her size, and people apparently weren't too happy with her new smaller figure. Fans flooded her comment section calling her too skinny now and saying that she has lost her butt. A lot of people also took a more passive-aggressive approach when criticizing the young star and saying, quote, "I'm so sorry you felt the need to dramatically change your appearance," even adding sarcastically that they hope Ariel is happy now with her appearance. But it didn't stop there. Many people also accused the actress of resorting to plastic surgery to achieve her new look, and proceeded to call her a bad role model for other young women. But Ariel defended herself very well, saying, quote, "I appreciate you wanting to help girls love themselves the way they are, but you are also kind of cutting someone down, which isn't what I think you were trying to do." She then had to clarify that no, she didn't get plastic surgery, and reminded the same fan that their behavior wasn't an effective way to support women. Number 7, Gal Gadot. When the Israeli actress was first cast as Wonder Woman way back in 2015, the backlash she received online was swift, because many people believed that she was too underweight to play the DC Comics superhero. Gal was harshly criticized by superhero fans for being flat-chested, and ended up accepting that she was too skinny when she looked back at pictures of herself from 5 years ago. Weeks after the initial outcry, the now 37-year-old opened up for the first time on the body criticism that came with getting her breakout role. Speaking to Israeli television show Good Evening with Guy Pines, Gadot revealed, quote, "I represent the Wonder Woman of the new world." And when asked whether or not she would be gaining weight for the role, she said that she will only be gaining body mass and training very hard to build muscle. Then a few years later, in an interview, she looked back on the pressure to conform to what fans' idea of Wonder Woman was supposed to be. Quote, "They said I was too skinny and my were too small. They said my head was too big and my body was like a broomstick." But she went on to say that when it comes to criticism, she can take anything because it's just empty talk, and that she understands that part of what she's doing means being exposed, and part of being exposed is being under fire. Number 6, Emma Stone. In a 2014 interview with 17, Emma hit back at body shamers who were way too comfortable commenting on her body and criticizing her for losing weight. Most of the fans that jumped aboard the hate train were accusing her of conforming to the pressures of Hollywood and basically calling her a sellout. But Emma brilliantly shut down criticism by explaining that her weight loss was actually just a result of age and very natural, and that it wasn't about meeting societal expectations. Quote, "I feel it can be really challenging in today's world for anyone, especially girls and women, to feel good about their bodies." She went on to say that no matter how things look from the outside, we can all be super critical of ourselves and our image in the mirror, and that she's actually seen all of the various articles and comments that have addressed her weight and saying that she's caving to pressure to be thin. But instead, she insists that keeping weight on is a struggle for her, both because of stress and the fact that she's just getting older. She says that it's just the way that her genes have decided to go, and things will change as time goes on. The actress ended her comment by calling the statements completely untrue, and that's why she's defending herself. Number 5, Bella Hadid. Bella Hadid once again found herself on the receiving end of criticism from those who believe the model looks too thin. The negative comments came flooding in shortly after Love magazine posted a video on Instagram of Bella wearing a variety of revealing one-piece bathing suits that show off her frame and prominent hip bones. In the clip, the then 22-year-old model spoke about body image. Quote, "Growing up, I definitely was not the most confident person. I kind of was always searching, so I guess when I felt the most beautiful was very recently, in the past 2 years when my health was at its best." But the internet was way too quick to disagree with her, with one user even commenting that she was talking about self-acceptance as she's withering away to bones, and going on to blame the modeling industry, calling it barbaric and disgusting with its beauty standards. Another user wrote that the video represented an extremely unhealthy message to impressionable young girls, girls, and basically blames Bella for looking the way she did in that swimsuit. After the backlash, the model later posted a photo on Instagram with a caption to slam those who made assumptions about her weight, saying that all body types are different and react differently to a great workout routine and a healthy diet. Number 4. Zendaya. In 2016, Zendaya and feminist comedian Julie Klausner got into something of a Twitter feud when she skinny shamed the Euphoria star for her appearance at the Kids' Choice Awards. In less than 140 characters, Julie managed to both skinny shame Zendaya and belittle the experiences of eating survivors. She tweeted, quote, "Zendaya's ultimate retort to Giuliana Rancic is starving herself down to the size of one of her elbows." If you're a little confused by that, the comedian was basically saying that Zendaya responds to Giuliana's criticism of her natural hair last year by losing weight. I mean, the tweet didn't really make a whole lot of sense, but she was probably just being nasty as a poor attempt at comedy or something. Add to the fact that she is supposedly a feminist, and it just comes off as really sad. She was trying to bring down another woman because of her size, and she probably thought that she could get away with it because it wasn't technically fat shaming. But just like the queen she is, Zendaya responded by educating Julie on why body shaming isn't a joke. Quote, "Do you find this funny? I will write another paragraph to educate you as well. Now everyone, go look in the mirror at their beautiful body and love that." Number 3. Bethany Frankel. The star of Real Housewives of New York and the founder of Skinny Girl Products, Bethany Frankel is among those who have been very harshly judged on the internet for being way too thin. Although she has received a huge amount of negative comments regarding her weight, she doesn't seem too stressed about it and instead saw it as an opportunity to talk about body shaming as a whole, responding to the criticism in a really thoughtful way. In an interview with the podcast Fortune Unfiltered, she said, quote, "I think being thin is a very, very polarizing thing. I think people get mad at you for it, or it makes themselves feel better if they can say, well, she doesn't eat, and she works out every day, neither of which are true." Hitting back at the rumors that she diets like crazy or deliberately starves herself, she told listeners that she in fact does eat, and insisted that she stays away from fat-free foods and instead just sticks to smaller portions of the food that she loves. Frankel said that she's also adamantly against weight loss programs. Quote, "The word diet has the word die in it, and it's a multi-billion-dollar business because diets do not work." Number 2. Leanne Rimes. After Dean Chalamet and Leanne Rimes divorced, many people became focused on the singer's weight. After taking to Twitter to share a photo of herself in a bikini in 2011, Rimes was hit with a barrage of comments calling her scary skinny. One user even tweeted, quote, "Sorry, don't mean to offend, but that's a lot of bones showing through skin." But people often fail to see the irony of not meaning to offend someone and then commenting on such a personal matter for them like their body weight. Rimes hit back saying that those bones were actually just her abs, and shutting down the unnecessary hate. Quote, "This is my body and I can promise you I'm a healthy girl. I'm just lean. Thank you for your concern, but no need to be," which is a great way to respond to such a ridiculous critique. Even though fans may have been genuinely worried about the star's weight, she surely didn't appreciate having her body labeled as scary. Often people use health concerns as a way to seem sincere with their comments, but the truth is it can also be a scapegoat for those same people just hoping to use the excuse to shame your body. It's really quite sad, but anyone that was truly concerned or worried about your health wouldn't take the time to insult you first. It's just so unnecessary. Number 1. Victoria Beckham. Victoria Beckham has spoken about the consistent scrutiny over her body throughout her whole career, in particular when she named a specific time when she was weighed during a TV show in the 90s. Yes, you heard that right. She told Vogue Australia, quote, "I went on a TV show with Chris Evans many years ago, and I just had Brooklyn, and I lost a ton of weight after. It happened to my mom after her pregnancy. It doesn't mean you have an eating disorder. And he made me stand on the scales to be weighed. Can you imagine doing that nowadays?" It's true that there's just no way something like that would happen today, but it must have been very traumatic for her at the time, considering the fact that she had just had a baby. And when talking about the constant comments about her body type, she said, quote, "I've had Porky Posh Spice on a headline, I've had Skeletal Posh. After I had Brooklyn, there was a picture on the front page of a newspaper pointing to every single part of my body where I had to focus on losing the weight from." Undoubtedly, Victoria's experience of body shaming was unacceptable, and things have certainly moved on in some ways since those days. Victoria even admits that nowadays there would have been an outcry if someone was asked to weigh themselves live on TV. But that's not to say that body shaming still doesn't occur on the regular. And she's absolutely right, because Victoria's experiences with skinny shaming represent all the pressure that women face in society to be the ideal weight.
In our number 10 spot, we have Mary-Kate Olsen. It was early 2004, and Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen were receiving one of their biggest awards to date. It was a big accolade for them, their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Don't know how much they care about it now that they no longer are acting, but YOLO. I will never forget it, because instead of celebrating the billionaire twins that convinced all of us 90s kids to run to Walmart to buy their clothes because they were so cool, instead of celebrating a huge moment in their life, every tabloid everywhere focused on how thin Mary-Kate was. She had an opened back dress on, and every tabloid was zooming into her ribcage and commenting on her body. It's all anyone talked about for weeks, months even, because that's what we were being bombarded with. At this point in the 2000s, this was the dawn of Us Weekly and the paparazzi. I feel like Brit met K-Fed during this time, so all anyone did was, read gossip magazines. Anyways, poor MK was ripped apart, and I bet you anything that contributed to her and her sis making the final decision to leave acting forever. So sad. I truly wish they had like a YouTube channel or something. I miss their content so much. Die-hard Olsen fan, run her. In our number 9 spot, we have Natalie Dyer. In 2016, when the epic drama Stranger Things came out, the world was instantly obsessed. I myself watched it twice back to back because I loved it so much. Along with everyone commenting on how amazing and unique the show was, people were also putting in their 2 cents about Natalie Dyer. Natalie Dyer has always been known as someone to be rather thin. However, in Stranger Things, people noticed that she got even thinner than normal, and a lot of people took to Twitter and commented on how skinny she was. People were unhappy that she was casted in the lead role and spoke about her management and how they should be making sure that she's well instead of making her work. Now, some argue that they were speaking from a place of concern, but others were coming from a place of judgment. It's been 4 seasons and she is still dealing with this feedback from fans. In our number 8 spot, we have Sarah Hyland. Over the years, Sarah has been under a lot of criticism for her weight. In fact, people literally said in 2018 that she was promoting anorexia. This is probably the most ignorant thing of all time to say to someone whom they don't even know for sure if she's struggling with it. Because if she was, it's a mental disorder, and putting her under more mental stress from the worry of the statement could be extremely detrimental to someone struggling with it. In our number 7 spot, we have Angelina Jolie. Angelina's small frame has been the subject of criticism for years. In Angelina's case, so much of the world remembers how strong and fit she was in Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and so people think that her weight loss shows that she's ill, but the actress has always been thin, and people fluctuate over time. People have been brutal in calling her sick and anorexic. Apparently, Angelina has admitted to trying many different cleanses over the years, and so that would definitely contribute to weight loss, but it's no one's business. Angelina has never fought back against the comments, but sources have said that she's gone to many doctors and she's been told that she's healthy. In our number 6 spot, we have Denise Richards. Denise Richards has been a very popular actress and model since the 90s, and she's always been a skinny girl. At some points in her career, she has become very thin, and the public was not nice to her about it. She was often called shockingly thin by the tabloids, which feels like they were trying to insult her, but in the nicest way that they could. Typical Hollywood. Denise has had to deal with so much bad press over the years because of her relationship with ex Charlie Sheen, and so many have commented that the stress of that, along with all the regular Hollywood pressures, probably contributed to her losing weight at times. In our number 5 spot, we have Kate Moss. Kate Moss, the longtime Calvin Klein jeans spokesperson, has been accused of being anorexic so many times over the years that a trend was formed after her called as people that would do the illicit drug would look as skinny as her. Pretty horrible, and such a telling of the times and how harsh the tabloids were. Kate was known as being one of the most skinniest supermodels of all time at one point, and the world never seemed to stop talking about it. When asked why she was so skinny, Kate merely said that she was not anorexic, but that she just didn't eat because she was working too hard. In our number 4 spot, we have Zendaya. Probs one of my fave celebs in the world right now. Zendaya has unfortunately had to deal deal with so many people skinny shaming her over the years. One time in particular was by a comedian actress named Julie Klausner in 2016, who called her a thinspo model for your impressionable teens and accused her of, quote, starving herself down to the size of one of her elbows. But Zendaya, who's just awesome, wasn't having it. She took to Twitter to respond and she said, "Do you find this funny?" Damn. She then further commented, "Now everyone go look in the mirror at their beautiful body and love that. Hashtag thick girls winning, hashtag skinny girls winning, hashtag we all winning." God, I love her. In our number 3 spot, we have Kate Middleton. This one shocked me, as I've always had the impression of Kate Middleton looking thin but normal, not too skinny. It's really quite sad to hear that people are always commenting on her weight and shaming her for being too thin. Apparently people were also commenting when she was pregnant, saying that her baby bump wasn't big enough. What do you even say to that? I'm sorry folks, I will do better next time. How can one have a baby bump that is too thin? That is in no way anyone's control. Or is it? I don't know. I've never been pregnant, but I don't think so. And that is just so silly to hear and so sad that the British public and the world wouldn't leave a soon-to-be mother alone during a beautiful time in her life. Super disappointing. In our number 2 spot, we have Kate Bosworth. Oh my gosh, do you all remember the movie Blue Crush? Till this day, it is one of my favorites. I hate surfing, but man, does that movie make me want to surf, and Kate is amazing in that movie. It was after that movie that Kate lost a little bit of weight, and the public had so much to say about it. People would comment that she was wasting away because of how different she looked. I cannot believe that anyone could have the audacity to say that about any person. That is truly so horrible, and you just never know what someone is going through. I remember she got hounded for her weight for a very long time, and once again, this was during the same crazy paparazzi time of the early 2000s. Celebrity females of this time had to deal with so much and were so heavily criticized. I'm so thankful that we are living in a much better time now. In some ways, obviously, not in always. In our number 1 spot, we have Keira Knightley. Bend It Like Beckham was the movie of 2002. I was obsessed along with the rest of the world. Keira Knightley was one of the actors in that movie, and I remember how harsh people were on her about her weight. She was constantly labeled as anorexic, and people didn't really leave her alone much till Pirates of the Caribbean stole the hearts of people everywhere. But even after that, the tabloids still called her too thin. Keira once talked about how she was always skinny shamed and said that dealing with all that was so hard and that she would never encourage her future hypothetical teen daughter to pursue acting because of the pressure and criticism.